Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome to Season 14 of the Simability V8 European Supercar Championship. Tonight, coming to you from the newly released Willow Springs International Raceway. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me tonight, and also your cameraman, it is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody out there.
So, Willow Springs, or I think its proper name on this layout is the Big Willow.
And if you look at the screen at the moment, that's exactly what I've typed in, and that's because I raced on this track called Big Willow on a different game, but I think that was like R Factor or something like that. Yeah. If you look at the top of it, look at the top. See it on there?
Possibly you're talking about Big Willies, but anyway.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, damn it.
So, yeah, we're following the official schedule where we can this season, and we have a set layout in our sprint features and when the endurance races happen, and it just so happens that Willow Springs has popped up as our first 2-hour endurance race of the season. And there's been, I don't know, I'm going to say a 50-50 split on people that love it and people that hate it. But it's the schedule. There's 21 drivers turned up, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
I watched about 20 minutes of the practice session, Pete, and there's lots of mistakes happening.
Yeah, it's so it was a challenging track when I drove it on whatever game / sim it was. I've tried it earlier tonight, and it looks and feels like a super fast Laguna Seca you feel like you're turning right a lot, because that last, I don't know, the Americans probably count it as 16 turns, but the last bit turns right so much that you feel like you should be turning right into a new dimension, because you've been there with your wheel at 40 degrees or whatever for about an hour each lap. So I think it's a very exciting track. It very much has features of Laguna Seca, but much more challenging and a lot more lethal. I spent more time in the sand than I did on the tarmac, and you're going to say now, that's nothing new, Pete. And you're right, but in a whole new way and in a whole lot more. This is so technical. Getting your approach to each turn right is it's so difficult. Honestly, this is a great track. I loved the few laps that I did.
Yeah, I've noticed there's some wicked camber on some of the corners. Like you say, it is very... Maybe it's just the sand that makes it very Laguna Seca-ish. Because when you look around the landscape, it does seem to be very barren.
Victor Tanaka, I salute you, because that's how I entered the pit road inadvertently in my practicey, testy laps, whatever. That's exactly what I did. Exactly that. I feel so vindicated.
The funniest bit would have been Rob Venn looking out of his left-hand window into Victor Tanaka's windscreen.
What a classic. That's brilliant.
Right, so what happened last time out? So last time out we was at Barcelona. Simon Trendle took away the sprint race win. And I believe, yes, he did. He got the feature race win as well. So he's had 4 wins out of 4 races. Is that going to change tonight? I think maybe it will. I've been watching Simon in the practice session, and he certainly has struggled more than I've ever seen. But we know what a good driver he is and how it can all come good for him. In the standings, I don't know if Pete has done his magic or not.
Oh no, sorry, I
No,
haven't.
that's
No.
all right. So after 4 rounds, Simon Trendle leads the way with 604 points. Johnny Brandon second with 520, and Bob Woodhouse in third with 476. Team Chimera lead the teams championship with 971, NQR Europe with 847, and then XVR OAPs on 822. 4 races, 4 different drivers of the meeting. Point each for Vincent Skilbeck, Ant Woodward, Johnny Brandon, and Andrew Wood. Safe Driver Award doesn't really mean anything at the moment because we haven't done enough races. And the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, currently led by Simon Trendle with 20 positions gained, Johnny Brandon 16, and Rob Venn on 14. So, back to the qualifying session. We are over the halfway mark. Victor Tanaka, despite that little accident that we saw, currently sits on provisional pole with a 113.619. Johnny Brandon second, and Simon Trendle in third. But I'm sure that's going to change in the next 6 minutes. The other thing as well, Pete, I knew absolutely nothing about this circuit. I didn't even know where in the world it was, if I'm honest. So I did do a little bit of research and found out it is in California.
Yeah.
And I've also found out that this is the oldest American track without any changes. So the big Willow layout that we're on tonight has not been changed since it was built. And the construction started in 1952 and was completed in 1953.
Right, okay.
So yeah, you can get some wonderful information about these tracks. We haven't got the carousel, which is weird for an American track.
It is, yeah. I thought they all had that.
Yeah, but we have got turn 9, so that does make up for it a little bit. Although turn 9, as you was describing earlier, is more the end of turn 8, which is called the sweeper.
Right, okay.
I don't know if you can get the track map up so people at home can get what I'm going on about, because that's a really funny corner name, and I can sort of see it, but maybe not, or I don't know. So where Victor Tanaka is at the moment, 1 and 17, is called Rabbit's Ear. Number 65 is now in there. Tony Kloosterman is now in there.
Rabbit's Ear?
Yeah.
It looks more like... I can't describe what it looks more like. It looks like a sack that might hold 2 spherical objects to me.
Yeah, what, like for marbles?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but restricted to 2, obviously.
So yeah, should we go on board with somebody? I haven't actually done any laps round here, but I can guess.
Yeah, let's see. Who's approaching the end of the lap? Let's go 121, because that is Tony Kloosterman.
Tony Kloosterman. So this is we're going to rename this corner to Pete's Nemesis.
Yes, because it lasts for about 20 minutes a lap. This right hand. We're already in it. We've been in it for a while. You can get a novel out and read that, and then I don't think that's fast. I don't think what he's done there is fast.
Yeah. So over the start-finish straight into the left-hander, which is Castrol Corner.
All right. Nice oil reference there, isn't it?
Yeah. Little short straight and into Rabbit's Ear.
Or sack of balls.
But again, that's a big, long, sweeping right-hander,
Yeah,
isn't it?
do you know what that means? It means left front is going to get shredded.
Yeah, so this little left doesn't have a name, but over there where the sign is called the Budweiser Balcony.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Again, no names for this little section of the track, but the next right-hander is called Monroe Ridge, just there.
I died there a few times.
This is called Wings Leg.
Is it what?
Wings Leg.
Wing,
and then
as
we're
in wing.
into the sweeper, as in a bird has wings.
But wings don't have legs.
Obviously they do.
That's just weird.
So
that looked faster and a little bit sandy, and that could be a good lap.
Right, I'm going to have to do some research one day on how corners get their names, because I know we know a few of them, don't we? Like Knickerbrook.
Yeah, that's funny. That's got a great
like
story behind it. Yeah. Druids.
But they've
pilgrims.
Obviously been named for a reason.
Yeah, that one's a bit strange, and you're right. It's an asymmetric American lap, if that makes sense. It doesn't have a carousel. It doesn't have a kink. What else doesn't it have? It doesn't have a Thunder Valley. There's a few tracks that have Thunder Valleys in American tracks. Short shoots. Yeah, there's no shoot. What's that about? No corkscrew. All the things that we usually pick up on. It really doesn't have. But yeah, it's got a sweeper. That's always good, isn't it? For when you need someone to get rid of the offensive midfielders in the opposition's team.
Yeah, and it hasn't got turn 7A.
Well, you said there was some with no names, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, we can. Let's come up with, me and you and the people on the chat, let's come up with some names for these corners.
Yeah.
And I shall find an email address for Willow Springs and send them off and see if we can get it changed for next time we're here.
Yeah, and I agree with Fiona, who's on the chat there. She says, I'm a racing driver, names mean nothing, corner numbers the way to go. To a point, I agree with you. Counting your corners is the right thing to do if you're racing. As a broadcaster, you kind of got to know the names, otherwise it's you're just going to get ridiculed. I think we're at the end of quali.
We certainly are. Just to answer a quick question for Lee Bowden on the chat. As it's an endurance race, they've got 20 incident points to play with, not the normal 15.
Yeah, the only problem is they're going to need 50 round here.
Or keep within the track limits, like you're supposed to.
Yeah. Why is Steve LaValle not racing?
No idea.
Is Wayne Sanderson on track?
No. He hasn't entered this season.
Why? I'm just going to type why with lots and lots of exclamation marks.
Because he's very ladylike.
Right. So, yeah, that is the end of quali. Anybody on a burn down lap will get the time to finish, will they? Or is this... Yeah, they will, won't they?
Yes, because this isn't set up as a...
It's not a heat race.
Session.
So these guys have got an entire lap's worth of time in order to contemplate their fate, which might go on for quite a long time, actually. How long's a lap? I did mine in 1 minute 20 or something. I was so slow.
Yeah, quickest in quali, 1:13.6. It's a 2.5 mile track,
right.
Which is bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah. This is the one where it's got about 300 different configs, isn't it?
There is, yes. Although I'm not 100% sure we've got them all on iRacing, which is a shame.
No, but some of them were silly. Some of them were just silly.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Clios and TCRs.
Oh, no, yeah, fair enough.
There could be some very interesting layouts. Just on the corner names, Ivan Batman has said he just remembers them on how he flew off previously.
Yeah, good effort.
So there's barrel roll corner. No headlight straight.
Sent it in too deep. Left-hander or whatever, yeah.
Right, let's get your starting grid. Hang on, I just need to do the grid set first, and it will take me absolutely 2 seconds. Boom, there you go. So, round 5, our first endurance race of the season. Victor Tanaka for NQR North America takes the pole position. Johnny Brandon, XVR OAPs in second. Tony Kloosterman, NQR North America in third. Simon Trendle, Team Chimera fourth. Bob Woodhouse, NQR Europe in fifth. And Woodward, NQR Europe in sixth. And Bram Dubois, NQR Europe in seventh. Good showing from them boys. Vincent Skilbeck, 8th for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Stephen Phillips in 9th for Dashhound Racing. Fabian Mayer, Privateer in 10th. Stephen Walker, Geodesic Racing in 11th. Greg Carr, NQR North America in 12th. In 13th is Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green. Shubham Vasaika in 14th for Hydra Racing Forces. 15th is Lame O'Connor for XVR OAPs, with Jamie Wilson 16th for Team Chimera. Rob Ben, BSTV Esports Green in 17th. Stacey Boyd in 18th. Jonathan Cole 19th. Sam Boozin, BSTV Esports Easier in 20th. And Ivan Batman's Track Velocity Racing in 21st.
Very well done.
Oh, need a drink now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's find a car that's actually on track to focus on. A decent camera angle to start with. That's a good one. I like that. That gives us all 21 cars. It's a good grid, isn't it? 21.
It certainly is. I still can't hear the drivers, so I'm going to...
Have you just muted the entire game?
No.
Sorry,
no.
Simulator, for anybody that just got offended.
Do you think I'm silly?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there is that.
Right then.
Oh no, now I've lost all sound, so it's obviously not that one.
So while Clyde does his thing, lights are coming on, folks. I'm going to focus on Johnny Brandon. 4, 5, and they are go. And they held them for a while, actually. And Jamie Wilson in the background there got a massively good start. I think NQR have been practicing because they hold a lot of world records at this track in this car. Oh, there's a big crash behind. Oh, that's massive. That looks like Stephen Walker and Jamie off.
Jamie Wilson.
That was a big one. It's not a block track, so we keep going.
No, it is one of those tracks that crashes tend to fire themselves off to the side, don't they?
Yes, I mean there's lots of side, isn't there? There's an entire desert out there to soak up any amount of cars, really. So a bit of a drama start for some of the people further back in the field, right?
Yeah, although the top half of the field all seem to be where they started.
Stacey's got the fastback version of the Commodore now. That's what they call it in America, isn't it? Fastback?
Yeah, it certainly is.
And we've got Rob Venn, who's under a bag full of pressure here from Fabian Mayer. Or Mayer. Is that Mayer or Mayer? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are both of those things right?
I think Fabian has dropped a few places and Rob has gained a few, yeah.
Fabian...
They were nowhere near each other on the grid.
No. Fabian's back 3, Rob is up 5, so that's how that's worked itself out. Oh, and we got NQR Europe on Europe here.
Yeah, that's Bram having a look at Woodward. Meanwhile, Stephen Phillips is... sorry.
Stephen Phillips is doing... Oh, yeah, he's off. He's off.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is he? Oh, that's unfortunate. That's probably the worst way you can possibly end that.
Not quite sure what happened there.
I don't know, but
because
I think
he was putting pressure on Ant Woodward, I believe.
I can't even find an incident. How did you even see that? There's no incident. I can't even reverse back to it. Sorry.
I predicted it.
Did you? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is a bit tasty for the very front here, and I'm more talking about this. Oh, that's Tony Kloosterman. Oh, I think there was... Everybody's off track nearly.
There was definitely a...
hip check?
Some sort of hip check there. I don't know whether there was anything in it.
Now, I can see that one, so give me a sec.
you can see the damage on the left-hand side of Simon Trendle's car.
Yeah. Let me go up
So
top on
Tony
this.
fires it down the inside.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
lost
that
it
was
a
all
little.
Tony. Yeah,
Yeah.
lost it, hit the curb, and straight into Simon Trendle.
Used Simon to turn. Okay. So that was interesting. Victor Tanaka went off all on his own in that corner at the same time, which has given Mr. Jonathan Brandon a bit of a lead.
Yes, just under a second, so I don't think. Oh. Sorry, just watch.
Close. Yeah.
I always panic whenever Vincent gets close to another car, purely because of the ping.
Do you mean the solid air event that's likely to follow it? Yeah. I'll tell you what, Victor Tanaka has managed to calm himself down. Look at that, there's a rash. I'm going to call that a rash of NQR cars.
And there's one of them that's there and not there and there and not there.
Who's that?
I don't quite know.
Someone is strobing in and out.
Yeah.
Simon Trendle.
Simon Trendle is off again.
Yes. He's not come back on yet either.
That looked like it was all of his own accord.
Well, he's kind of on his own. You don't know what damage he's already incurred, though, do you?
No, that's very true.
It wasn't the smallest of hits. Oh, he's got no left-hand turn, that's why. I don't think his car turns left anymore.
I actually thought he was going to go and visit that Portaloo for a second.
We did have that with Foggy once, didn't we? Ah, right, that's... Oh, it hasn't actually registered him as returning onto track at all, so I don't know what's going on there.
He's definitely on the track.
Yeah.
But obviously way down the pecking order now in 16th.
Oh, is that Tony? It is. Tony went wide. He's got it together though. Controlled it. That turn's lethal, isn't it? We've had a few cars going off there. That's Ant Woodward. See how his feet make the car go.
Yeah, see, that's just far too technical for me. I couldn't do that with my feet and with my hands and my eyeballs at the same time.
Well, I'd stop breathing because my brain has got to make room for some other instruction, so breathing is superfluous to everything else at that point if I've got to like heel toe my brake and my gas. Right, so a little bit further back here. Vincent's got a mega run. That is huge. Absolutely huge on Greg Carr. He's absolutely annihilated him there. That was brilliant.
And
Greg's gone deep.
Oh, he did well there, didn't he?
Bram or Fabian? That's Fabian, obviously.
No, that'll be Fabian behind him, yeah.
And then further back, Ivan is doing a great job tonight. Up 6 places, Clyde. I know he likes to start at the back and keep out of the way and that, and he's doing a great job. Like it. Oh, where is Victor? Victor's off the side of the piste.
Yeah,
he's off piste.
Yeah, he's gone again.
I mean, he's fast, isn't he? But he's clearly still learning this one.
I think it just shows, you know, we've had 5 full laps and people are making mistakes. So, you know, I don't think we can say, you know, even if somebody's 2 minutes in the lead, they're going to win.
It's new to a lot of people, and this car is vicious. It doesn't take any prisoners. It just spits you out and, you know, laughs at you afterwards. Fabian's got a lot of extra speed on Greg Carr, I think. And Vincent, who passed him recently, has just done one. He's gone.
Yeah, Stephen Phillips on the chat. The reason he ended up where he was he double downshifted, so that would have been engine gone.
Yeah, this car just does not react well to that.
No. Mike Frost is asking, where is Nikolai?
Bogatyrov, yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah. Well, I know the real reason.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say anything. But there is a very politically incorrect answer that we could give, considering he's Russian. But I'm not going to say that either.
No.
He's most definitely not in Ukraine. Oh, said it.
Ooh, do you see that? Tony Klosterman got one little tiny bit of tyre, not as much as, who was that? Adam Wright. Adam Wright was all four off into the sandy tundra. I think
Tony's a bit wild tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think it's anything to do with him necessarily. I think we've seen a few wild actions, haven't we, with Victor as well.
So this is a good little battle that we're watching here. Fabian, Greg, Rob, Venn and Old Man O'Connor.
Yeah. I'm going to have to keep one eye open on what Stephen Walker is doing back here, because he's about to get past the fastback styled car of Stacey Boyd, or is he? No, he's not. Still learning the car, Stephen Walker. And there's all sorts going on here. Where's Greg Carr? Oh, wow. Okay, we need to watch whatever that was.
Visited the compost bin.
Yeah. And he was in the middle of this battle that you were saying was interesting.
Yeah, he's got Rob Venn behind him. I'm going to say this is going to be all on his lonesome. Yeah, it is.
And then he managed to hide his car behind that green hopper.
He properly hit that.
Yeah. Okay, let's hope he gets back out of that mess. But the very front of this field is getting a bit tastier, Clyde, because Johnny Brandon's been caught.
Yeah,
but he's clean. He's clean. He's not managed to...
I was going to say, I'm wondering if that's not intentionally being caught, but not driving at 100%.
Yeah. Do you know that this is an enduro? did anybody tell any of the drivers or not?
Well, that might be why Johnny Brandon is not at full pelt.
Yeah.
Unless he needs to.
And I tell you what, Vincent Skilbeck is literally picking up cars and throwing them over his shoulder at the minute. He's absolutely tearing through this field.
Yeah,
I know
Bob Woodhouse is up to second as well. I know he's only really been fighting his teammates, but he had a great showing, didn't he, last time out?
Yeah.
He got a podium in the feature race.
He's proper rapid. He's come on leaps and bounds. And I have to say, Rob Venn, we said it last night when we were in the Clios, he's fast in that car. He's fast in this now as well.
Yeah, he certainly is. And normally, and I put normally in because as soon as I say this, I know he's going to crash. But normally, very, very safe as well.
Yeah.
And a driver that you can race door to door with and know he's not going to do something stupid.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm guessing Stephen Phillips is not joining us now after being 7 laps out.
He disconnected pretty much straight away.
Right.
Possibly raging with himself.
Yeah. Well, maybe. It's so easy to double down, though, on these cars.
Yeah.
Especially if... Well, I don't know that he is auto-blipped. But even if you didn't, you'd just mince the drivetrain anyway, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure if it'll let you do it, will it, if you're on auto-blip?
I don't know. People that know it better than us.
Sure, so,
I only drive auto blip, so I don't know. I can't do that heel toe thing. I tried it. I did try it. Honestly, I did try it once when I had a different set of pedals and a more basic set of pedals. No way could I make that work.
You should have took your clown shoes off.
Oh, well, if you'd just been there on that day.
You could have mastered it by now.
Probably. And Bob Woodhouse is giving Johnny Brandon some stuff to think about, but you don't know in an endurance race what's going on with Mr. Brandon, do you?
No, that's right. Greg Cart is still going.
Oh, right, that's good.
Let me have a look at my inside information.
Well, you say he's still going. That looks like the least healthiest car in the whole world.
It certainly doesn't look pretty, but it's still moving.
I'm not sure whether you can get a better view than what I've got because there's not a lot of options available on this track. And that doesn't do much. Although it does advertise Wild Rides, so if anybody wants a battery-powered bike, that's where you need to go. Wild Rides. That doesn't show you much either, so we're going to go back to this. But that's missing some panels, and I think the left-hand side of the car is at least a foot shorter than the right-hand side of the car.
Yeah, and he's probably halfway through a stint if he's 3-stopping.
Yeah, I heard it might be getting on for 100 laps, is that right?
Yeah, it's... From what I'm told, you can 2-stop it with some severe fuel saving.
Right.
But the left front takes such a battering that I think if anybody tries to 2-stop it, they're just going to have jelly on the left front.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, maybe if a Tyler Newitt was here, he would be one that was trying it, but I suspect most people are going to 3-stop this.
Is he in another sex cult, is he?
I think so, yes.
Right, okay, because I've not seen him for a while.
So the battles seem to have settled down a little bit, don't they?
Yep, they do. Excuse me. Oh, hang on. I say that, but Simon Trendle, obviously on a very delayed Chimera car now, is making his way back through the field.
Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it?
And we've got this going on. Fastback versus Mr. Lucky Wookie Walker, who won the other night and said he was lucky again. Can you believe he keeps saying that?
You can't use that excuse forever, can
you? No, and he tried to play it in the chat afterwards as well. I got lucky. Yeah, of course you did. You got lucky getting a first and a second. Don't think so.
Yeah, we've got an NQR train, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, it's now, even SDK has admitted that it's Johnny Brandon and Bob Woodhouse versus the rest. Oh, no it hasn't, it's just added in Tony Clifton, Ant Woodward and Bram Dubois in the battle box in the bottom right corner. But yeah, there's quite a lot of NQR cars. I think they've done quite a lot of prep for this. And they expect good things out of their teams, plural. I mean, they are the principal Simability sponsored car as well, aren't they? As well as the league. So
yes,
you want them to do well, kind of for Simability, which do wonderful things for people less fortunate than some of the rest of us. Obviously, there's nothing they can do for whatever ails me and Clyde, but for some other people, they modify sim racing gear so that people can race with disabilities, Clyde, isn't that right?
That's correct. And for our disabilities, I'm told there's a very good euthanasia clinic in Switzerland.
Oh, so. Excellent. Right, book me in.
Yes. And it's quite cheap, apparently, because you only have to have a one-way airfare.
Oh, right. Oh, here, this is for the lead. And Johnny's let him go. Right, Johnny's on a tactic. Johnny's on a tactic, right?
Yeah. There was no fight there, was there?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Is he going to 2-stop it? Can't, surely.
Don't know.
How many laps do we need to do to 2-stop? Like 30...
It's going to be 32.
32?
Yeah, it's going to be 31, 32, isn't it? Definitely.
Right. So he's halfway through a stint. That seems a bit obscene, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you be 23, 24 if you are free stopping.
Yeah. So let's do a little bit of this, and then a little bit of this. So this is on board with Ant Woodward and his feet, so you can see how he does what he does. And it is impressive, isn't it, to heel toe and blip like that. It's very, very technically accomplished.
Yeah, he still needs to cover up them legs though.
Well, yeah, I mean, milk bottles into black shoes, that's never going to work, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Johnny is doing.
Yeah, and what happens if/when Tony Kloosterman catches up with him, because he's the next car in line, next car in front of us, actually, whilst we're on board with Ant Woodward here.
That's probably the most surprising bit about Johnny letting Bob go, because there's another 4 NQR cars lined up behind him. So
yeah, but
is he going to do the same with all of them, or?
I don't know. I wish I was running his stream now, and then I could listen to what he was saying. This is when we're proving to be utterly stupid, isn't it, as broadcasters, because we just don't know. That looks like Greg Carr. Oh dear.
Yeah, he already had a lot of damage, didn't he? So
He really did.
He's
really
not going to make that car look any worse.
No, but it might handle like a pig, even more so. So he drifted wide in the like forever right-hander, because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, that part of his class was turn 9.
I can only offer sympathy, because crikey.
Even bailed there. He could have maybe gone round and into the pit lane.
Well, he locks up all. Yeah, yeah, done exactly what I did. You mean? Absolutely. Right, where is everybody else at this point? Let's have a quick look at Mr. Skillbeck, because he is moving forward now, albeit slowly. He's catching, and nobody ever said this, I don't think. He's catching Victor Tanaka.
Yeah,
and that's the first time that's ever been said on a broadcast.
I've seen Victor out. Let's just say out wide on a few occasions, but he's still pointing in the right direction and still putting in those fast lap times.
Was he still in California when he was out wide or not?
There's at least one where he wasn't. But I do think incident points might play into this towards the end of the race.
Okay.
Either drivers getting drive-through penalties or having to ease off a bit if they're getting close.
Right.
Oh, Tony's out wide again.
Yeah, I saw that, and he's been passed by Ant Woodward, who is.
And Bram as well.
Oh, right, really? So this is Tony's off, I think. See, that's exactly what I did, but I was down pit road after that.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I see what you
yeah,
mean. Bram passed him as well,
Bram
right, okay.
passes him as well.
I thought you meant Bram went off as well. I was like,
No. Tony's tucked in behind a pair of them now.
Yeah. I mean, there's clearly a very fine line between fast and dead on this track, isn't there?
Oh, without a doubt, yes. Yeah.
And
it's not forgiving either, is it? It's slippery sand wall.
Yeah, and the sand is faster than the grass, which is impressive, right? Because the grass is just so fast. And Jamie Wilson is catching Simon Trendle as well as catching Shubham Vasaikar, which suggests that Simon's got damage.
Yeah, I think you will see. Oh no, Greg Carr has already gone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think you'll see Simon Trendle pitting as soon as his pit window opens.
Right. Or has he now decided it's safest to run it long?
I don't think so. Not the way we scored.
Oh! That was brilliant from
Yeah,
both cars. Both
that
cars did well there.
was target fixation. That was.
It really was. Jamie Wilson got away with that. He really did get away with that.
And got a place out of it.
Yeah, this could be entertaining. This is a BSTV car, even if it is liveried as an easier car. He's going to do exactly what Greg Carr did and what I've done and what Tony did and everybody else.
He didn't get anywhere near where he needed to be on that corner.
No, he didn't. Oh, he's done a good job at dancing across there.
He's got no damage out of it.
That'll do, that'll do. Yeah, nice.
Would have monged his tyres up for a couple of laps.
Yeah. His tyres are 6 inches wide, further round now than they were before.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hang on. What's this?
Hello. That's early.
Does that feature on any of your race plans?
No.
Right. So how'd you make this work then?
Well, to be honest, we're very. Well, I think this is possibly doable.
So you got.
It's going to make a stint very long.
Yeah. Because you're going to do what, 70 laps or more on the next 2 stints together?
No.
What?
It's going to be 4 stints, isn't it?
Oh, of course, yes. Stupid Pete.
It's one of those, it's not a bad tactic, to be honest. He's going to be, as soon as these tyres are up to temperature, he's going to be, banging a couple of quick laps in.
Hello.
In another 2 laps, maybe more, a lot more cars are going to be coming in, the ones that are just splitting it on time. And he's already going to be up to speed, and I think he's, trying a bit of an undercut. But may suffer for it at some point when he's going to have to do a longer stint.
Yeah, and we've just had Bob Woodhouse do very similar, to be honest.
Yeah, Bob, I don't know what they're doing as a team, whether they're using team tactics or whether Bob has pitted to cover off Tony.
Oh, it's like Jonathan Cole in the near distance there. That Johnny is now, as race leader, approaching. Just guessing because it looked yellow.
It looked very yellow, I'll give you that.
I mean, he's having to feather the gas around this forever right-hander, isn't he? Was this a sweeper, did you say it was?
It's the sweeper,
Yeah.
and then there's just the last turn, yeah, the second from last turn is called the sweeper, and that leads into turn 9, which is the last turn.
That's interesting. Johnny Brandon is on a MAGA fuel save. He's literally clutching an engine off. Let's see if he does it again on any other corners. You got that right?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
That was a dead engine. He's done it again. Coasting.
Okay, so let's see if Johnny's going long then.
Pete thinks he's 2-stopping this. And if he gets an easy ride from Jonathan Cole, which he did, that's going to play brilliantly into his game.
So yet again, we're going to get one of those races that we have no idea what's going on until
Honestly,
after the final pit stop.
It's going to take the last lap. Yeah, look at that. Engine off,
Yeah.
coasting. Back on the gas. Nicely done. He's going to do it again into this next corner, I think. not quite there. Very smooth and controlled though, isn't he? There you go. Silence. Love it. Nice driving. Jonathan Cole into pit road, by the way.
Yeah, well, now's a more... Well, now is the 3-stop time.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. This is the standard 3-stop.
I've had this come up, and usually I get off tracks. This is described as something completely different. He looks very hot into turn 1, doesn't he? And, yep, turn 2 is the other way, so that's down as a crash.
Sam Boozin taking a void in action onto the sand. Although he was possibly heading for the sand anyway.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson, released by his pit crew, rejoins the track.
Yeah, I'm surprised Simon Trendle hasn't been in. I thought he would have been one of the first.
Well,
maybe that damage isn't as severe as we think.
I don't know that he's not doing what Johnny Brandon's doing now, but we've never seen him do a massive fuel save, have we?
No, but thinking along them lines, if he was to do it, you know, from being so far down after the incident with Tony, and probably guessing that most people are going to 3-stop it, it's definitely worth a try because he's not really going to lose anything, is he? He was going to have for Simon, a rubbish finish anyway, so, you know, why not throw everything up in the air and see how they land?
Yep, well, Anne Woodward leaving pit road as Bob Woodhouse goes sailing past the end of it.
Yeah, Bob did cover off Tony, so...
Yeah. Where is Tony at the minute? He is 3 seconds back.
Yeah.
Not a massive amount. Not on an endurance race, I mean. In terms of...
no, and we're only a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
So there's many laps to do and many mistakes to be had.
So, who's your money on? Anybody on the chat with any better response to that than we're looking for more than that. Alex Savillano, I thought you were racing this one. No, he couldn't do either the Clios or the V8s after all.
He had a good excuse for the Clios because he had updates to do, but surely they were all done for tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just laziness from that point on, right? Shubham Vasaikar, the only is he the only Racing Forces car? I think he is.
Yeah. They did sign who's the guy we always give a shout out to? His mum. He's not here tonight.
Oh, yeah, give me a few minutes.
Too much apple juice.
Brain doesn't work. Phil
Keck.
Keck, right, nice one.
Yes, they did sign Phil Keck last week.
Right. I mean, Shubham's doing a pretty good job. His car looks well controlled, doesn't it? He must keep away from that sandy grass bit there, but other than that, pretty good so far.
I'll tell you what's surprising me.
Go on.
The top 8 have not pitted.
Why is that such a surprise to you? Just because I'm not very intelligent?
Because we're on lap 26.
Right.
And we're sort of past. We're past the normal point where the 3-stoppers would go in. So, are there 8 drivers?
Well, all doing 2-stoppers.
Going to try 2-stoppers, or are some of these 8 just running long on the first stint?
I don't know.
And would put in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:14.22.
Right. Yeah, Ant Woodward is like. It He's in a bit of fresh air at the minute. That's probably to his benefit, isn't it?
Yeah, but I say these top 8, they're like 5 laps past the 3 stop, and they've got 5 laps to go to the 2 stop.
Right. Well, maybe the fuel calculations are a bit off then. What?
Who is number 85?
85 is Jonathan. He's in the pits at the minute.
That might have been what I saw then.
And he's been followed in here by Rob Venn, is that? Yeah.
Yes, it is. So that's one of those 8.
Yeah, that was... I think he was nearly rear gunner. I think there was only Shubham behind him, and Shubham was catching him. So maybe Rob's tyres had enough. Good evening to AE Rocks. I can't remember who that is. I'm pretty sure they've told us.
Who that is, yes.
Do I?
I can't remember.
No. Can you remember?
No.
Well, he's so surprised that I can't then. Stephen Walker has just entered pit road as well. Up on the jacks at the minute, getting his tyres changed. He's got damage to repair there as well. Alex Savillano is getting a bit overexcited about the livery on the Racing Forces cars. He always does. Yeah, it really is, yeah. So, here we go.
So, there's a Simon Trendelin.
Yeah.
So, he is not going on a 2-stopper.
I've watched enough of cars in pit road. Let's watch something else. So this is Victor Tanaka, much delayed, but catching at a rapid rate Bram Dubois, who was with that front group of 600 NQR cars before, wasn't he?
Yep. Yeah, again, neither of them have been in the pits, and we know how quick Victor is, but how much practice has he had? Is he learning this track as he goes along? Is he going to get quicker as the race goes on?
And just to address Fiona's point in the chat, who says it looks like a fair mix of strategies. It's a new track to all of these guys and us. So we are the worst people to tell you what is going on. We don't know what's going on normally, do we?
I was going to say, it wouldn't matter if we'd raced on this track 17 million times. We still wouldn't know what's going on.
We get caught out
Adam Wright in the pits as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's now down to, what, 5 that haven't pitted.
Sam Boozen's gone in to put some sand tyres on his car. Oh, right, they're all coming in now. You pretty much called it a minute ago, didn't you? They're getting to the end of their usable life for these tyres and fuel. I wonder if tyres go off before fuel runs out. I don't know.
Well, there's still 4. We know Johnny Brandon is definitely trying to stretch it. We've been on board. We've heard him clutching the car.
Yeah.
He's probably talked Liam O'Connor into doing it as well.
Yeah, but old man O'Connor doesn't know how to do it, though, does he?
I don't think it matters because he's that slow. He'd be saving fuel anyway.
Yeah.
He probably hasn't used any yet.
No, and he's got to have his synastogen before his pit stops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously racing in an oxygen mask helps anyway.
With a catheter.
On his commode.
Honestly, I thought he was sandbound then, or maybe he still is. Oh dear, it looks a bit dicey, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is he going to pit road? Pit road for old man O'Connor.
Yeah, he can't do it. So, then there was 3.
Yep. Right, so, oh crikey. Let's have a look back at... I like this view because it makes it so much more dynamic looking back at the car that's chasing you. Ivan has just entered pit road as well. Ivan's doing brilliantly at the minute. He has these races every so often, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he?
Oh my god, where have we gone? Where have we gone? Where are we? Bram, he should really just visit pit road now, shouldn't he?
Yes.
He's already aiming at it, so you might as well. There you go, good lad.
And there was 2.
Yep. And they are now 6 seconds apart, nearly.
Yeah. And I think they could probably both pit on this lap.
Who is that?
Still be within. That is Simon Trendle looking at the damage on the left.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
And the number 1 on the car.
So does that mean that?
Well, that will be.
I'm trying. My brain is
Simon
now.
Trendle trying getting a lap back.
Yeah,
because he is a lap down.
Yeah, I was going to say my brain's having a small but not insignificant aneurysm, trying to figure out how far ahead Johnny Brandon is now, and he's the best part of.
Well, he's about 41 seconds ahead of Bob Woodhouse, who is the first car that has pitted.
And a lap is 75 seconds as Simon tries to pit again. No, he doesn't. That's exactly what I did, honestly. That is my move.
Because Jamie Wilson's behind him.
Yeah, can't possibly come second in a 2-car Chimera battle.
Especially
dear, that was
not
funny.
in the V8.
No. Johnny Brandon's the only. Is he? No, he's not. Victor Tanaka is also hanging it out.
These look like the 2 that are trying it on a 2-stopper.
Yeah. And if it does work, it's going to be a blinding tactic, isn't it?
Well, again, you have to wait for everything to pan out, don't you? Because it can end up with a 3-stop car on fresher tyres in the last stint, chasing the leader down who's on a 2-stopper and rubbish tyres. You know, it swings and throws, and you know, if you're 2-stopping, have you got a fuel save in all 3 stints? Does that work against you?
Yeah.
So many different variables.
And what would make me panic at the minute if I was Simon, it won't now obviously, is the fact that I was racing with new tyres against Johnny Brandon, who was pulling away from me on 31 lap old tyres. But of course, you've got to get your tyres up to temperature in this car, and it takes a while.
Both of them have gone in. Victor's in as well.
Yep. Yep, good shout. And then, of course, Victor was the pole man, wasn't he? Hence having box 1 in the pit road.
And these guys are going to come out behind cars that have got at least 10 lap old tyres.
Yes. Just
so they are going to feel wonderful, aren't they, for a little while?
No, they're not. So Johnny's down off the jacks and moving, but who is the car that he's going to fall in behind? He's going to fall in behind no one anyway. Ant Woodward is further up the road, 10 seconds up the road.
Yeah, so Johnny's going to be able to make hay now, isn't he?
Oh yeah, but he's going to do a lap and a half maybe on horrible feeling tyres.
Yeah.
And then just feel mighty for maybe 8 laps, maybe 9 laps or something like that, and he'll absolutely haul that in. There we go, flashing lights. He's listening to us, Clyde.
Yeah. He must have food on it.
What is that about? Is it some sort of food thing he owns or runs or what?
No, it was
what is that?
Basically there's a calf round the corner from his house that sounds like he eats most of his food in there.
Okay.
And the owner of the calf and his wife were watching one of the Clio races. And they promised Johnny a free panini if he won the race, and he did.
Okay, got it. Well, if they are watching tonight, we've got quite a few people watching, so they could easily be part of it.
They could.
Yeah.
I've offered my address for free paninis.
I was just going to do the same thing. Oh, no. Have you already done that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I had nothing.
Damn it. Right, well, if you're watching me and Clyde are deserving of food, we don't get anything for doing these races, so all donations gratefully received.
Well, I have just had cheesecake delivered.
Have you?
Yeah.
Katie's going to have to do something about that. I don't get anything from Katie. Never have a... Not even had a Skittle, let alone a cake. Right. What's going on in the chat? Fiona, you need to finish whatever sentence that was, because it makes no sense. Looks like a fair mix. I think it's the same message that she'd already posted further up, so we'll ignore it. Must be YouTube having a moment. Fast corners, wearing down the tyres for grip, and low speed corners for traction. Says Alex, what do you know? You're not even racing, because we think you're lazy. It's about right, isn't it, Clyde?
Yeah.
Yeah, too right. Right, I'm sick of watching Johnny Brandon, so we're going to go and watch Adam Wright, who is catching Ivan very, very slowly. Oh, no, he's not. He's catching him very, very quickly, actually. I don't know why Adam's this far down the field. Something happened around about here. So, we need to determine how loud and for how long we laugh at this, Clyde.
Okay. Little refrain.
Oh, that's a good tank slapper. Oh, yeah. A bit of a waggle.
Yeah.
That's a different desert he's in now.
A lot of ground there, so
Yeah.
gets away with it.
Yeah, he does. I don't think he goes off again, but... Victor Tanaka has just put in the fastest lap. Oh, crikey. Ooh, that was a bit tasty, wasn't it?
I also think that Fiona needs to rephrase what she's just put on the chat.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Because that means something totally different to me.
It means something completely different to what she means to everybody. Oh dear, that's funny. So yeah, that's Rob Venn a lap down from Victor Tanaka. How did Rob Venn get a lap down, Clyde? Am I not remembering some big crash?
No, I don't remember either.
No, I don't. It's odd. Has he stopped and taken on... Has he fixed all his damage when he was in the pits and didn't use his fast repair for later?
Did he had any damage?
No, I don't. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that's him passing Sam losing. I'm trying to see if there's an event, but I'm not finding anything. Oh, he did go off track there, and he came on 1 second later, so he's not going to have hit anything there, so that's fine. I don't understand why he's so far down, that's all. I'm not finding anything at all. So if anybody else knows why Rob Venn is so far down the field, we would both be very grateful because we've not got a clue. I feel like the police chief, is it Chief Wiggum off The Simpsons?
Yeah.
We're asking the public for any news on this event because we ain't got a clue. Oh, look at this. This is nice. So this is Ant Woodward, now behind Tony Klosterman, so obviously that happened in the pits strategy. But and that is Ivan Bauman's behind them, but he is an entire lap behind them now. And it does feel like Ant Woodward is gaining on Tony Klosterman.
Yeah, Ant will have newer tyres, won't he? Because Tony was the first one to stop.
He was, and he's a bit wide there. He's got 4 laps younger tyres than Tony Klosterman. Newer, rather, not younger. They weren't born. Maybe they were. But you can see Woody's feet in the bottom right corner there. He's definitely catching Tony, isn't he? I mean, he's got a lot. Oh, who's that? Somebody out in the wild there. Is that Adam Wright? Oh, yes. Look at that.
Yeah, it was definitely green.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing a good job of sliding sideways back to the track, isn't he? Yeah, there you go. Willow Springs, everybody. Big Willow has claimed another. Oh, and Ann Woodward, well, we were watching that, or I decided to watch that, has passed Tony Klusterman, and this is how he did it, Clyde. I told you he was catching him. He was really catching him.
Yeah, so I think Tony's
well, he's let him
moved
go.
out of the way
He's let him
there,
go,
hasn't he?
yeah. Yep. Ooh, he nearly didn't. They got very close, didn't they?
And got very excited, didn't he, on the way in there?
Yeah, he was off his normal line for a start, so he was probably having to recalculate what was going on. Right, who else have we got going on here? So Stephen Walker is now closing in slowly on Shubham Vasaikar. What's going on here? Nikolai is on the chat, Clyde.
Indeed he is. Sorry, I'm trying to fish a bit of cheesecake out of my belly button.
Oh, a little bit of vomit just came up. Sorry, folks, I'm just going to have to find a bucket for a second. Oh, dear, that was rough.
Want me to send you a picture?
No. I do feel a bit nauseous after that, but never mind. So Nikolai, no, you were not dragging them down, mate. You need to get back and come racing again. Right, so Fiona's made reference to incidents, Clyde. So I think it's only fair that you go and surreptitiously have a look. Oh, you're already there, right? Okay.
I'm already there, and it's quite surprising.
What?
We sorry, I just managed to wheel myself away from my desk then. We've got 2 drivers in double figures, one of which has already quit. So yeah, everybody's doing okay at the moment.
Fair enough. I mean, there's a long way to go, right? We've got... Oh, hang on. That there was Jonathan. Doesn't look like someone who's returning to the track very quickly. Maybe a technical issue? Or maybe he just wants a very stylish shot of his car on a... oh, no. Oh, we're doing some donuts. That's nice. Do you want to call it out, Clyde? Left a bit, right a bit, straight on.
At the end of the road, turn right.
So Jonathan Cole having a bit of trouble. Why is Sam boozing a lap down? What's going on here? Did we see him lose a massive amount of time?
He's just slow.
Oh, okay. Oh, that might be why he's a lap down. If he keeps doing that. I think that's too many Belgian fries in the boot of his car. Where's he going?
Please wait, Nick.
Excellent.
As long as he doesn't turn into Brunswick boozing again, we'll be alright.
Well, yeah. The best bowler in the whole of V8. Right. So
Johnny Brandon is starting to claw back on Tony Klusterman now.
yeah, well, it was going to, well, in theory, it had to happen at some point. I mean, his car is clean. He's been very controlled. He's probably still fuel saving. Let's just go on board and see what's going on.
And you've got Johnny on newest tyres in the field and Tony on oldest tyres in the field.
Jonathan Cole's pit road, so whatever his ailments are, he's getting them fixed out now. There you go. Clutch in, coast round, bit of gas around about now. There we go. Get you onto start finish straight. And from what I saw the last time, go down here, do to turn 1 at least with gas, and then turn 2, which is the right hander, off the gas. There we go.
Yeah. So the three stoppers
Oh,
are
hang
going to
on,
be
that was an
thinking about
overtake there.
coming in soon. That's
Yeah.
Vincent.
Vincent flying straight past Fabian Meyer, who's doing a brilliant job. Fabian, he's fighting this.
Yeah, and I see him twitch going into the corner then, and I was like, no.
That's why I stopped talking, because I thought this is going to be murder at turn 2, and it wasn't. He's done a great job to get that Mustang back under control. Marginally different lines going into turn 5 there. You can roll that curb in the entrance to this little section here, which is good. Roll right over the top of that rumble strip curb thing.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, how some curbs, you know, help and some just throw you a curveball.
Yeah, and just destroy your car. Yeah. I mean, Knock Hill, where we were with the Clios, that was hilarious, wasn't it? They were just launched way into the air. I don't know what a V8 would do on the reverse of Knock Hill. They'd be airborne for a week.
I know Alan Toon has done that reverse before.
Yeah, he was saying he had,
I don't know
yeah.
what car it was.
No.
Probably MX-5, I would have thought.
Yeah, he does like his MX-5s, doesn't he? And to counter what Nikolai says, the NQR boys are not doing significantly better, I wouldn't think, without you. When one of them's on the top step, then maybe. Jonathan Cole's been in the pits for a very, very long time, Clyde.
Yeah.
I think well, I don't know, he's already been in once, hasn't he? Oh, actually, this is his third visit, so he's probably used his fast repair before. Whatever he's getting done now is at cost.
Yeah, and like you say, it could have been technical.
Yeah,
because he didn't attempt to go back on the track, did
No, it was very odd. It's like he only had left turn or something. So, where are we at? Bob Woodhouse is your race leader. He's literally just overtaken Shubham Vasaikar and Woodward in the same camera at the moment, but 5.4 seconds behind his NQR Europe teammate. And then we've got Tony Kloosterman in third for NQR North America. However, Mr. Jonathan Brandon is on a completely different race strategy, Clyde.
Yeah, as is Victor Tanaka behind him as well.
Yeah, and not far behind him, which is a worry, I think, to everybody. Because we know what Victor can do. And he's probably learning on every lap, isn't he? He's learning how to go faster every single lap.
Yeah, whatever was up with Jonathan Cole, he's now disconnected from the server.
Oh, no. That's a shame. He's been doing really well in recent races as well, you know, keeping on lead lap and things like that.
Exactly, yeah. We're about 3.5 minutes away from the halfway point.
Right. Oh, I thought Fabian there was entering pit road because SDK went, Fabian's entering pit road. And he was just a bit wild, like a lot of other cars have been off that last turn.
Yeah, I think he lost the position to Bram there, didn't he?
He did, yeah,
before?
and maybe, yeah, just to Bram, yeah. Vincent was already ahead of him. Vincent's just here. And he's doing a very steady race. I don't know whether he's... did he say in the last one where I thought that Willow Springs was Australian that he had raced here, or he hadn't? He hadn't, had he?
I think he said he didn't own it.
Yeah. Which is going to be true of a lot of people, including me, because I only bought it this morning and then raced it early afternoon and then realised I'm never racing it again if I want to retain my safety rating.
I think you probably threw him by telling him it was a home race for him.
I did, yeah. He was totally like wigged out.
He'd moved to.
Yeah. Right. When did I move to America?
That's Bob Woodhouse in, which is about right for a two-stopper.
Okay.
Sorry, a three
Three.
stopper.
Yeah,
I
three.
expect Tony in shortly as well. Although he might just try and stretch this stint a little bit to make up for his early stop on the first pit stop.
That's true, actually. They've reversed, haven't they? Tony
Yeah.
was in before Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, Tony came in a lap before, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
So ultimately, Brandon and Tanaka will cycle back to the front.
Yeah, for quite a number of laps, I would think, as well. We're going to see them out front again. And Woodward assumes the lead of this race for the time being. And I don't know, I think Ant Woodward, who's flashing his lights and clearly listening to us, doing a bit of weaving, he's going to crash in near the first turn. He's clearly listening. I think he's secretly doing very, very well. And I don't know why I think that, but I've probably just cursed him.
Yeah, Tony is in. The secret for the three stop guys is once they've done this second stop, the three stop guys and the two stop guys have got one more stop to make. So the three stop guys have got to get as close as they possibly can to Johnny Brandon and Victor Tanaka, knowing that their last pit stop is going to be shorter than the two stop guys.
Yep. It all depends on whether you can save any fuel at all in the stints in between, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's always that unknown, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think Ant Woodward should put our faces on his toe caps.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be like me and you dancing, wouldn't it?
It would. And we'd look great, wouldn't we? Oh, here he is. Here he is. He's coming into pit road now. Which means that Mr. Johnny Brandon takes over the lead of the race again from Ant Woodward.
So that is bang on halfway.
Right. If that's bang on halfway, I'm going to run out of wine.
I did have refreshments brought with my cheesecake.
Honestly? Really? You don't even know you're born, do you? Right, this is Bob Woodhouse, who's been closing, obviously, because he was he one of the last to pit? Yes, he was the last to pit, I think. Closing rapidly on Jamie Wilson, but his tyres are 23 laps newer. That's a lot of laps.
Yeah, as you just said, obviously Bob has just made his second pit stop, and Jamie hasn't. So big difference in grip.
Oh, there we go. Jamie having none of it.
No, that looked like Jamie was, you know what, there's no point even putting up a fight here. I'm doing my own thing. You get on with your own thing.
Which does suggest that Jamie's more than aware of who's taken what tyres and when. So he's obviously got a good, online companion telling him on some sort of data box or something.
Well, yeah, I think Fabian Mayer has just gone into the pits, but I think Jamie's race tonight is with his teammate. I think he's got an awesome opportunity to get one over on him.
Where is Simon? Oh, he's he's about to.
Jamie's just pitted.
Right. Simon is going long again, isn't he? Simon didn't go long, did he? He was in on lap 27.
Yeah, that is long. Not super long, but
behind there somewhere is Fabian, by the way.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised with Simon, because that is what he tends to do, isn't it? Just run the car as long as he can, and whatever the pit stop is, be it 1, 2, 3, 8 pit stops, it makes the last one really, really short.
Yeah.
And it seems to work for him.
Yeah, that's Lane O'Connor letting Tony Klusterman go-ish. He was a long time on the apex of the previous corner, but Tony did it anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of nicey driving going on tonight, isn't there?
It's totally out of character for V8 drivers.
Yeah.
What happened to the big arguments, Clyde? Where did they go?
Exactly. Yeah.
Stephen Walker from further down the field on his second stop. Still getting to learning this rear-wheel drive monster, but it does open up a huge window of opportunity for other rear-wheel drive cars, it has to be said. It just gives you a vast well of knowledge to draw from for all the other cars.
Yeah, I don't think he's a stranger to rear-wheel drive. He's obviously a stranger to the V8s, but you know, within BSTV leagues, he is renowned, as Sandboozer made another mistake there. He is renowned for his prowess in front-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, true enough. I don't know how much rear-wheel driving he does, but yeah, you're right. His primary successful field is front-wheel, isn't it?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm sure he told me that he'd done a fair bit of GT3 racing, or maybe GTEs, something like that. But
right.
Again, I could be wrong. I know it's rare, but you know, it does happen sometimes.
Oh yeah, Sandboozer did send it on himself, I think. Let's have a look. I don't know where on the track this is. Oh, crikey, that's weird. How'd you do that then? Is that trail braking? Or
I think that's more just carrying too much speed in,
right, okay.
and not being able to shed it.
Yeah. Right, so Fabian slowly catching up with Shubham Vasekar, but his tyres are 20 laps newer. So on entirely different strategies. Or is he due into pits? I don't know anymore. I've completely lost the plot, Clyde.
I think Shubham hasn't been in again, has he?
No, he hasn't. No, he's only been in once. Oh, Simon Trendle. Is that
Yes.
early? Is that early?
52. No, he was 27 last time, wasn't it?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's done another 25 lap stint there.
Right, as Fabian passes Shubham.
Yeah, that was always going to be a no contest, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Vincent's now lining himself up, is he? Oh no. Where's that gone? Oh, it was Adam, was it? No. That must have been a car that he'd lapped. So, this is interesting, Clyde. The car in front of the car in front of the car in front of Victor is Johnny. Did you get that?
I sort of knew what you meant, but wasn't really. I sort of switched off after the first in front of.
Oh, really? It got very exciting after that. Right, so where are we race-wise? We're over halfway by 6 minutes, Clyde, or 7 minutes, is it?
Yeah, just coming up on 7 minutes now. So 3 stoppers are going to be in around lap 72, so another 20-21 laps. The 2 stoppers, trying to think when they came in, lap 32.
Yes.
So they're going to be in around 11 laps time. And then, like I say, for me, it's how far behind do the 3 stoppers come out, and have they got enough laps left to make the tyre advantage get them up and get past the two stoppers?
There's a car there somewhere. Oh, there he is.
Yes, I didn't know who that was, but it looked really, really slow.
That's Jamie Wilson overtaking Adam Wright. Difference in tyre life, 20 laps.
Yeah, so Adam obviously due a stop.
Yeah, definitely. Last stopped on lap 28, and we're on lap 54 now, so they'll be feeling horrible. Jamie Wilson, I can't figure out where he is overall, if that makes sense anymore.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We really need to let all the pit stops shake out, and then we'll have, well, we won't know for definite, but we'll have a little bit of an idea what's going on.
Did you say you've already had cake?
I had cherry and white chocolate cheesecake.
Is that homemade?
No, it did. Well, I don't think so. It didn't look. It was too round to be homemade, to be honest.
I'm going to try and record that and send it on a small cassette tape through to Katie, with a note saying you need to make me cake instead because I'm much more grateful than that. I've just got some chips which I'm going to chew, and they're cold, by the way, just to make you feel bad for me.
I never feel bad.
No, you don't know. It was always worth a try, though.
Yeah.
So, I've not seen anybody go off track recently. I think they've all calmed down.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of drivers are in that position at the moment where, you know, they know where they are, they know what they're trying to do, and they're just concentrating on doing the best job that they can.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a quick look at incident points. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 active drivers in double figures.
Right.
But still, no. The highest one is 15.
Okay.
So still a little bit of leeway, but still 49 minutes to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be easy to pick up another 5 in the best part of 3/4 of an hour, isn't it? Especially on a track which is new to most of these guys, is very, very challenging. I mean, if we were to go on board again, just to talk it through, really, because we're approaching the end of the lap here. This right-hander that lasts forever. You feel like you're on the centripetal circuit, really. And then you get onto this straight. That is Shubham Vasaikar that's just peeled off for the pit road. And then you hammer it all the way through here to turn 1. They all have names. I think one's called Little Willie or something, I can't remember. But yeah, turn 1, left-hander 90 degrees pretty much, and then you enter into turn 2, which carries on for quite a long time. This is another one that absolutely ruins your left front. Rabbit ear, yeah, or two stones in a bag. And then a left-hander here, which is unnamed, I think you said. And then this right-hander, which does have a name, but it's gone from my knowledge.
Budweiser.
Oh, balcony.
Boudoir.
Boudoir. Let's go with boudoir. It sounds posh. And you can ride that curb there, which we noted before. And then you're uphill again over this crest, and then that looks dodgy. Down into this little dell here. And then you start
Wings leg.
There's no such thing. And then this massive right-hander starts yet again. There's a little bit of reprise here, and then you're back into the right-hander, and that is your lap. It's It's quite intense, isn't it?
It is, yes.
You can hear from the caution on the throttle that it's not an easy track to get around. But we did very well there on board with Rob Venn.
Yeah, so Johnny Brandon currently 5 seconds ahead of Victor Tanaka.
Right, that's got a lot bigger lately.
Yeah, Bob Woodhouse is...
That's why Victor's well offline. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, Bob Woodhouse is, for all intents and purposes, 37 seconds behind Johnny Brandon.
And he, I guess, is the lead car doing a 3.
Yes.
Right.
So everybody now has got to do one more stop. Johnny Brandon and Victor Tanaka, their stops are going to be longer because they need more fuel.
Oh, okay.
And they're also going to be sooner because they're nearly out of fuel. So yeah, we'll get into that usual scenario in, after the 3 stoppers have stopped. They're going to be behind the 2 stoppers, but they're going to be on a lot fresher rubber.
Yeah, and they'll feel mighty for a while. Chris Jackson's just woken up, Clyde. He says, looks like Brandon and Victor are fuel saving. They are. And he gave Victor a crash course in this track an hour before practice. So, is that good or bad? I don't know.
Well, crash course and Victor.
Rob Venn is very slowly catching Ivan here. Ivan's tyres are newer than Rob's by 9 laps. So I think this might just balance them out. I like Ivan's approach to this race. I think he's done a great job in my opinion.
Yeah, he's been safe, isn't he? And to be honest, that's what you need to do on a track that you either don't know or dislike or just generally struggle with.
Yeah. Lane O'Connor needs to empty his catheter.
There's always going to be cars that end up destroying their own evening. So if you keep it on the black stuff, you will make positions.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
And you wouldn't expect Ivan to finish ahead of Greg Carr or Stephen Phillips, but he's going to because they're both out.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Stay in it and you'll get a bag full of points. Not always possible, I get that, but but Rob Venn hauling the mail, as Bill Switzer would say, and catching Ivan, despite the disparity in tyre life, or age rather. Both in Mustangs, not that it makes any difference because both cars, for those new to this, both cars are identical in all ways apart from the way they look. Isn't that right, Clyde?
It most certainly is, to the point that you can even swap setups between the 2 different makes of car, which is, I think, has been absolutely fantastic. It's just a superficial thing.
Yeah, it does make it a one car situation, but if you do favour a different manufacturer, then it gives you the option, doesn't it?
Exactly, and we all know how iRacing can get the bot wrong on some occasions. So with a 2-make championship, if they get that wrong, it'll be a 1-make championship because everybody will be in the faster car. So yeah, what they do with the V8s makes total sense.
And I don't know what everybody talks in the chats about Gen 3, is it?
Yes.
And how that's been coming for the last 25 years to iRacing. But does that mean that there'll be more than 2 car options if that launches, or do we not know?
Absolutely no idea.
Oh, okay.
I sort of steered away from all of the rumour and everything else surrounding it, and I will just wait and see when it happens.
So
then we'll get rain, and then everybody will want rain, and then
nobody will want rain.
A 2-hour endurance race of everybody spinning around in circles, and then nobody will want rain again.
Yeah.
But at least we'll get it out of the way.
Yeah. Somewhere on the left here is an Ivan. Somewhere on the right here is a Rob. There he is.
So Rob eventually getting that move done. I was literally gonna say, when you first hooked up with this battle, it's not a track with many easy overtakes on, is it?
No, it really isn't.
Most of the overtaking we've seen tonight has been after you, sir.
Yeah, or after a crash, sir.
Yeah.
They all like to run that little bit of curb that we've just seen them roll over there. And Ivan's forming a comeback here. He's fighting it. He's not making it easy by any means. There's a few people dropped into pit road. Bram Dubois and Sam Boozen. And Ivan just a bit more tentative on the gas than Rob, I think. Maybe his setup doesn't allow him to get early on the gas. And Victor Tanaka does seem to be, Clyde, dropping off the back of Johnny Brandon now.
Yeah, 6 seconons almost.
A bit seesawy, but when did you say they might be due in again? 60 now, really?
32, 64, yeah. Any time in the next couple of laps, I would have thought we'll see both of these in.
These are your 2 lead cars. That's Johnny Brandon right there. And then back here is number 2 in the race, Victor Tanaka. Doing a great job, and I like the way Chris Jackson's tried to claim some of that in his message.
Yeah, I basically ignored him because I know Mary will only give him 10 minutes screen time,
yeah,
and then he'll go away.
Yeah, he's got to go and do... Oh, there's Victor into pit. Oh, and Johnny. Sorry.
Yeah.
Both of them, so as we called it.
Right.
Yep. Well, Sam Boozen's been in the pits for... I don't know that. Yeah, he's been in the pits a long time.
He must have had damage on that car.
Probably.
Not really hit anything, but I've noticed, once you get off the track, there's a lot of lumps and bumps and things that can just, generally cause damage to your car.
Yeah. Just going to see who launches first out of these two, because we've seen Victor do some funny stuff over the years in terms of getting an advantage.
I don't think there's anything that these two can do different, because they've got to fill the tank.
Yeah. So that was Johnny dropped down onto the road and gone, and then Victor. Oh, he's staying stationary. He's got damage to fix.
Interesting.
He's got damage to fix. That's definitely. Oh, he's going to drop back in the field if he doesn't go soon. Oh, this is not working well for Victor. I'm afraid he's 9th, 10th, 11th.
Is it damage or is it pit lane entry speeding?
Oh, it could be, couldn't it? That's a 40-second stop and hold.
Yes, it is. He's got a black flag.
Oh, Victor. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Well, that's the end of that little contest. Then he's rolling now, but that did appear and feel like it was too long for my liking, and it was. Fiona says she's looking forward to rain. First few laps on cold tyres, you can keep up. Hopefully rain has the same effect. I don't think that's how it works, because we used to race in rain in R Factor, didn't we, Clyde?
Yes.
It didn't feel like that to me.
I would love to be bothered to take a screenshot of all the times people have said to me, I can't wait for rain. Rain is going to be brilliant.
It's so
And
not.
then I'll ask them 3 weeks after rain comes out, what do you think of? Oh, load of shit. Oh.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think it was Tony Klusterman that sent me a message. And ooh, Victor.
Oh, yeah, he's
Oh,
angry now. He's angry.
he's taking the Sam Boozin line at the last corner. He is racing angry. You're absolutely right. He's such a lovely bloke, though. You don't think he can get angry, do you? He's,
True.
yeah, I really like Victor. His attitude to everything's brilliant. But yeah, he's taking the Samboozin line there and probably driving frustrated. But Tony Klusterman sent me a message saying pit lane entry is a bit dodgy and you might see some penalties. Well, they, unfortunately, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Actually, that might have been Chris. That might have been Chris.
See that?
Yeah.
If we can spot where it went wrong.
Give me a minute. Right, that's that one. I think it's... Is he enter pit lane or pit? I can't remember what the wording is. Let's try this. Let's try this. No, it's before that then. It must be pit lane. Give me a minute.
I think it is pit lane, thinking about last night and every car entered pit lane every lap.
Oh, yeah. Funny. Right, here we go. Let's see if there was anything in it. So this is... You got a bit of curb there, which may have affected it. He's a bit squirrely.
Yeah. That's usually the giveaway.
The hot tyres.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that. Easily done.
Yeah, oh yes.
Very easily done. Right, so Fabian Mayer is under pressure from Bram, who has pretty much brand new tyres, like brand new.
Yeah, as you say, he's only just pitted, hasn't he?
Yep. Let's go on board with Bram, why not? It's not often we go on board with him, is it? Is he another... No, he's not. He must be... Is he French? Oh. There's Fabian's pit road.
Do you know what? I don't know.
I think Fabian might be French. No, not Fabian. Bram, sorry. It might be French with a name like Dubois.
No, I think he's Belgian.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Nice and smooth on the gas through that last turn for sure. And then up and over. Well, that must have been the two-stone bag. And then up and over this little bit here. This is where we take a bit of the curb on the left-hander at the bottom of this hill.
I think from
nice.
inside the cockpit, this is a little bit Sonoma-y as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. Sonoma's in the desert. It feels very similar in terms of the flow and the style of turn. Yeah.
Yeah, uphill, downhill.
Actually, you're not wrong, because if you were racing a NASCAR around here, you'd be off the gas more than you were on it, which is what happens, and that's kind of what they're doing.
That is, that track has one of my favourite corners.
Which one's that?
You go over the start-finish straight, you go left under the bridge, and then up that hill, and there's a sharp right.
Yeah, up and over the brow of the hill, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, that turn.
It's brilliant if you can do it.
Accidents there.
Yeah. There's like a scrapyard at the top of it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right, so what else is going on in the chat? Chris says, hell of a try, Victor, good job. I don't think that was any times recent. Great drive, Johnny. Correct strategy from Chris. And then Steve Lavallee, been keeping Johnny on his toes. Good to see Victor back. It is great to see Victor back.
So Ant Woodward has gone in early for his third stop.
He's gone in early, right? Why would you do that? Don't know. Vincent Skilbeck is the first of the 3 stoppers to have actually stopped on 3 stops. He's currently in 8th place. Victor Tanaka is in front of him, and I don't know who that is in front of him at the moment. I think it might be. In fact, no, I don't know. I've got Adam Wright stopped for an enormous amount of time, Clyde.
Yeah, and Sam Boozin as well.
Adam Wright.
I think Johnny Brandon is up behind Tony Klusterman.
Oh right, I've completely missed this doing one of the other replays. Could this be the ridiculous right-hander by any chance?
Leaders in the pits.
No, it's not. Oh right, Bob Woodhouse to pit road. Eh?
Oh,
That's technical.
Straight on.
That's technical. Yeah, that is a disconnect or something.
Yeah, he's at Laguna Seca now.
He really is, yeah. So that's a shame. And then it's auto reset to pit road. So yeah, Bob Woodhouse in pit road. Tony Klusterman takes over the lead of the race, but he has one Jonathan Brandon breathing down his neck.
Yeah. And he's still got a stop to make.
Yes.
And is Fabian going to be a fly in the ointment here? Because I'm sure he's on new tyres.
Fabian is on 4-lap old tyres. 2 cars in front of him are on 7-lap old tyres in the form of Johnny Brandon, and 24-lap old tyres for Tony. We're on board with Fabian at the moment.
I think Tony is actually holding Johnny up at the moment.
He does appear to be, but not for long.
Not long, no.
Fabian might just see if his car will fit down that little gap. Obviously, right now, this is for position. Albeit they're on completely different strategies to one another. All 3 of these cars are on different strategies now. Fabian keeping it careful and clean. Nice driving. There was nowhere for him to legitimately go, was there, Clyde?
No.
It's nice angle here, though. Sorry, it would have been if he hadn't come off the gas. I think if he'd have kept in it, the grip would have stayed with him there. I'm not sure.
Bob Woodhouse is 33 seconds behind leader Johnny Brandon.
Yep. And that's after he's done 3 stops.
Yep.
It all depends on how long Johnny Brandon's stop is. I'm sure everybody was glad I said stop there after that sentence. Right, so Fabian's got a run here and Tony's got a pit road.
That looked very close.
It was extremely close. But it was safe, so all good. I don't know where Bram Dubois is going to end up after all this.
Well, I think Bram has still got another pit stop.
Oh, he does, yeah, definitely.
And he sort of got off sequence from Ant, Tony, and Bob, and I think that's been detrimental to him.
Yeah.
I'm coming up with lots of new words tonight.
You are, yeah. Yeah, I think it's the apple juice that you're drinking.
Okay, I've just heard Stephen Walker say whoops.
Oh, yes, that is a big whoops.
I heard that a few seconds before that, so that probably went on for a while.
Alright, let's have a quick look, because that looks very entertaining. It's turn 1 again. Oh my god!
Portaloo.
If you were Shubham at that point, you'd be like, what?
Yeah, that was a bit of a code brown, wasn't it, for Shubham?
Yeah, definitely.
And Woodward is very close to Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, I spotted it at the same time as you. He's definitely closing. His last lap time was... Oh no, they were absolutely matched on that. No, he was 4/10 faster, sorry. I was reading his best time. The best times are identical.
And a pair of them have dropped
Tony Koostman, yeah.
Like a pair of dirty underpants.
Yeah, definitely. And they're all on the same strategy now. As in, they've all stopped 3 times.
Yes.
I mean, NQR have done very well tonight, when you consider that Bram is currently in second, owing us a pit stop. Bob is in third, doesn't owe us anything now. And we're on board with, doesn't owe us anything, nor does Tony. Greg Carr, we parted company with early on in the race, after he had issues.
It was Ant Woodward fighting the steering wheel then.
Yeah, I don't know what his feet are doing. It's usually more calm on his feet, ironically. It's that little blip on the clutch and the gas which makes all the difference in this car. I've never done it, as I said before, but apparently it is worth a lot in terms of lap time, which is stunning, really, isn't it, Clyde? I mean,
yeah. See, I would always struggle because I am a left foot braker.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
Even driving my own car, I left foot brake.
do you really?
Yeah.
You got an automatic?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So where is Bram going to drop to? Is he going to drop in behind Tony, or is he going to fall back as far as Vincent?
Yeah, I don't know how far off we are. I'll just jump on board with Bob Woodhouse instead now. I got bored of watching Woody's feet. Bob once passed, doesn't he? I don't know what it'll do for his fight with Johnny Brandon if he gets held up, because I think there is a fight there. I honestly do. Given the pit lane times.
I don't think there is, mate. It's 29 seconds behind.
Yeah, true. He's going to have a DeLorean rather than a V8, right?
Yeah. We'll find out. If he was Bram, you would just let him go. He's your teammate. He's doing better than you. Let him go.
Yeah.
Let's get Bob into some clean air, and we'll then know whether he's got a chance of catching
There we
Johnny.
go. There you go. Hold on.
He's going to have to make up, second and a half a lap, something like that, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. It's not going to happen, is it? Although he's super fast on at the back of Ivan, who's 2 laps down.
So yeah, even that little fight there has cost him. He's 30 seconds behind. We've got 23 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he did a second a minute, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Lap at the moment is about 1 minute 15. So he's probably looking at a second and a half, second and 3/4 a lap to get anywhere near Johnny Brandon.
Yeah, and he's nowhere near that right now. He's half a second at best faster per lap. Of course, I'm forgetting now that Johnny Brandon knows us nothing.
No, I think Bob's biggest problem at the moment is Ant Woodward.
Yeah, he's got to watch out, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Friendly fire's coming his way. At the moment, NQR Europe occupy positions 2, 3 and 4 on your screens right now, which is impressive, you have to say.
5 and 6.
Those are the American boys, in Tony Klusterman and Victor Tanaka. Victor Tanaka on mine doesn't have the paint for NQR, which is odd.
No, I don't think anybody's bothered to upload it yet.
Okay.
We'll just have a quick look on our system just to make sure we haven't got something weird going on.
I downloaded the paint pack. It took my computer an enormous amount of time to do it, so I don't even know why.
Mr. Tanaka is in the council paint. So, yeah, nothing to do with us.
No, fine, good. Simon Trendle, I'm surprised by being as far down the field as he is.
Well, that was all to do with that hip check from Tony Klusterman, wasn't it?
I think so. It did put him back, not particularly in that instant, but over the course of the rest of the next few laps before his pit stop. Yeah. And he's not. Sorry, go on.
Go on. You're now going to say exactly what I was going to say.
Well, he's not actually repaired the damage since that point.
He's not taken his fast repair, has he?
Doesn't look like it, no. Or visually, it's not on our screen. So I don't know what the story is there, to be honest. Too new to the track, or I mean, he's got the same opportunity as everybody else. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It certainly is, in inverted commas, healthy for the league, let's say.
Yeah, and to be honest, it could probably be his worst result of the season, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, he could have been into the wilderness and into a wall, I guess. He's got 20 minutes to do something about the damage. Lane O'Connor, still on 2 stops to my screen, so he will be due in the next 2 or 3 laps, I think.
Yeah, he's going to definitely owe us one.
As is Bram Dubois, who is further ahead on track.
The battle is going to be and Bob.
Yeah. And it is heating up.
And is a very respectful teammate, but even last time we interviewed him at the last V8 races, we said what a great drive he'd had, and I think his phrase was something along the lines of, apart from Bob beat me.
Yeah. He'll probably want to redress that in this one, if he can do. They are very balanced at the minute, these two, aren't they?
Yes. Bob doesn't make mistakes, does he?
No, but I think he's going to have to give it... that's a nice defensive line from Bob there. Ooh, good grief. I don't think blue on blue is good, even at NQR.
No.
Yeah, he's definitely trying it. And he's controlled that beautifully well. Honestly, Ant Woodward's doing a great job. Meanwhile, in another race entirely, Clyde, 27 seconds further up the road is this man, Johnny Brandon. Unbelievable, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Victor's pit lane penalty robbed us of anything that may have happened between those two for the end of the race. Obviously, the two-stop strategy has been a lot stronger than the three-stop strategy, although the three-stop was the safer of the strategy, because to do this two-stop, you had to save a lot of fuel.
Oh, without
and
a
not
doubt.
everybody can do it.
No, you're right.
Me being one of them.
Nikolai says there was a 5-second gap between Bob and Ant before the last stop. I wonder which one of them messed up their fuel calculation. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there somewhere. And then Adam Wright says, hand pink waving. Don't even know what that means.
No, that is, to be honest.
One of these young people needs to tell us.
Is it a pink marigold? Is he going to do the washing up?
Maybe.
Oh, and I did Google what cottaging was, and I didn't like the answer, so...
That's funny. Right, so Fabian has been caught by Simon Trendle.
Yeah, Steve Lavalley saying that Johnny Brandon could do 28 laps without fuel saving, so it's a Herculean effort to save 4 laps worth of fuel.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And if you want to do it, you need to do it in an endurance race, don't you? Because the points are, you know, almost more valuable in this, you know?
They are the biggest points haul that you can get in the series. Sprint races being the smallest, feature races are double what the sprint races are, and the endurance races are sprint and feature added together.
Yeah, as Simon accrues another 1 incident point for going wide at the last turn and falls a bit further back from Fabian.
Well, we've got 15 minutes to go.
Yeah.
We have got a couple of drivers on 16. We've got a driver on 13, a couple on 12, a couple on 11, and a couple on 10. So still nothing desperate yet.
No, all that means is we were probably very accurate with the 20 that we applied to the league for the endurance race. Simon closing back in on Fabian again very rapidly. The car in front there, by the way, is Johnny Brandon. But Johnny Brandon is a lap ahead
Yes.
of Simon Trendle.
Yes. Which I don't think we've ever said before.
No, which is why I made a point of it. Fabian gets out of the way. Or does he? No, that's just a defensive move, I think. Because he's still pushing the issue into turn 1 and into turn 2 by the look of this. Go on, Fabian, fight it. Nice. He's staying alongside him, and he's got the optimal line, Clyde. Is he going to manage to keep it into this left-hander that follows? Yes.
So that puts Simon Trendle 9th. So just bear in mind as well that drivers lose points for incident points.
Yes.
But the winner, which looks like it's going to be Johnny Brandon, will score 300 points. If Simon Trendle finishes 9th, he's going to score 186 points.
Right, that's a huge
So 114 points different.
Yeah.
And yes, I didn't see that either. Nikolai has just said what has happened to Ant.
Why?
Because he is not behind Bob anymore.
I haven't got anything on my... Hang on.
He's actually behind Tony now.
Oh, hang on, I'm scrolling up. Eh? What on earth? Oh, just as there was an overtake done by Simon on Fabian, nearly.
He pushed it just that little bit too much yet. He was struggling getting the car slowed down going in there.
Yeah. Oh, self. Oh, right, he got the wall as well.
Yeah.
That's
Not
good.
Not helpful.
He was doing brilliantly up until that point. So what sort of damage are we able to see on his car? Yeah, the left side's pretty mangled. Let's have a look as he comes around turn 2. Not that bad, but you just don't know what's happened underneath everything, do you?
No, that's right.
Right, let's go back to racing and see where Simon is now. Still in the same place he was. Not managed to do anything about Fabian yet. Fabian's doing a good job of keeping him behind. This might... I was going to say it might be a bit different here. Whoa. Fabian keeping that defensive to the right position.
Yeah, I think Simon had to get on the brakes there.
Yeah. Clearly Simon's got a speed advantage, but he's not able to do much with it. It goes back to what you were saying before, Clyde, that overtaking is not easy.
No, it's not. Yeah, say we've seen a lot of people letting other people go, and a lot of people getting places through other people's mistakes. But
yeah.
Not many, two hard chargers going at it, and one gets past the other. We're coming up on 10 minutes to go, and that gap is still 28 seconds.
Yeah, Simon's got a monstrous overspeed here, but I don't know whether there's enough track. Oh yeah, there is. Right, yeah. Okay. Now, this is where Fabian does well. He holds it on that right hand side, and the next turn is
the next one is a right, isn't it?
Yeah. Simon, can he pull it back down again? It looks like he can before this left-hander.
Next one's a left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got it done now. Yeah.
Fabian looking for the right-hand side of that car, but he's not going to manage it this time. So that's, I think, a done deal. And Simon showing great patience there, really.
Well, that position gained him another 6 points.
Right, yeah, so it makes a difference, doesn't it, in an endurance race?
Yeah, and it could make a massive difference to come the end of the season.
Yeah. So Stacey having a pit for his third stop. Sorry, this is actually on schedule.
Yeah, so it could just be Bram now that owes us a pit stop.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, he was last stopped on lap 61.
93. I think he might be trying to make it,
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not going to happen, but I think he's going to try.
That's class. I don't know what happened on SDK when Bob Woodhouse last pitted, but it's got him stopped for 13 seconds. Funny.
And what was Ant's stop?
Ant Woodward, where is he? There he is. Pit lane time. Oh, pit time 25 seconds.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't right.
No.
And actually gained time on Bob.
Yeah. SDK does its own thing sometimes. Oh well, meanwhile, Johnny Brandon is your race leader with 29 seconds worth of lead over Bob Woodhouse, who we were just talking about. He in turn has a 10-second lead over teammate Bram Dubois, and then 3.3 seconds gets you back to that car in the distance there, which is Tony Kloosterman. Ant Woodward is also in the distance behind, and then Victor Tanaka is a further 10 seconds back down the road. So Violet.
Bram is doing some major fuel saving at the moment.
Is he really?
Yes.
Right, let's do that then.
Tony Kloosterman is catching him hand over fist. Right. Ivan is going to go past him very shortly. But he's desperately trying not to do a splash and dash.
we do like it when they do this, don't we? Oh, that's wide. He got a bit of a kicker off that previous corner.
You know, trying to drive slower can do funny things, can't it? It's not easy.
No, I've tried it before, and it messes with your rhythm. And you do daft things like, oh, I can stay off the brakes a bit more because I'm not on the gas so much. That doesn't apply, but your brain tells you it does, and then you sail off into the distance, and you're like, what? How did I get that wrong? And then you replay it, and you're like, of course, yeah, I'm still carrying the same speed. It's just that I wasn't on the gas for as long, so, you know, you do learn eventually, but it does mess with you, and it causes you to do self-murder from time to time.
Yeah, Bram is going to have teammate or stablemate Tony Kloosterman all over him very shortly.
Yeah, 6 minutes-ish, well no, 5 minutes-ish to go. So it'll be interesting to see what actually transpires after all of this. That's Ivan in between them there. He's a lap down on these guys.
Is Tony going to sit behind him and help push him round half a lap when he runs out of fuel?
No. Where did Ant end up? Oh, he's behind Tony, right? Okay, He didn't lose a massive amount. Well, he did, but he didn't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was only 2 positions, wasn't it? But it definitely took away the chance of
What are you saying?
Bram going extracurricular, just lost that place to Tony.
Yeah, is that wide at the last turn like everybody else? Yeah. It's so easy, isn't it? It's too easy.
I think Woodward is nearly 5 seconds behind, but catching.
Yeah, his car is not nearly as damaged visually as I expected it to be. And meanwhile, it's not far off a lap ahead. It's just shocking, isn't it?
Ivan's just gone wide. I think he gathered it up.
He's still on track on the live stream.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he's way back from the 2 he was racing with. Obviously, he's a couple of laps back now. And Bram has gathered himself together somewhat, and is after his sister teammate of Tony Kloosterman.
Yeah, the trouble is he's going to have to do 3 laps.
Yeah. That's a double take on that one, but yeah, 3 laps I think is it.
iRacing, can you put a fuel gauge in these cars so we can see what they've got left?
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I've checked SDK for that before, and it doesn't let you.
No. Yeah, I think position-wise, it's not going to be a great deal that changes apart from Bram.
Yeah,
Can he
if he
get to
needs to
the
pit,
end?
yeah.
Can't he get to the end?
Victor Tanaka, who you would expect to be super rapid, and he's kind of not, and I don't understand that because he was faster earlier in the race than after his pit stop. So has he given up?
Uh, yeah, he has been. He has been closing on cars in front of him, but the gap was so massive after that pit lane error.
Yeah.
Um, it was a bit of a forlorn chase, to be honest.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because his uh, fastest time of the race is a 1:14.1, which is, I think, still the fastest laps. Let me bring up the best laps. His best lap there. So yeah, Victor Tanaka marginally the fastest, but his lap times now, unless the track temperature has gone up significantly, is a 1:16.45.
Yeah, don't forget he's on. Him and Johnny Brandon are on the oldest tyres on the track.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, sorry, forgotten about that. You know, critical factor. We need to apply some points to Adam Wright, Clyde, because he has won the longest pit stop in history award. Currently at 37 minutes and 11, 12, 13 seconds and building, so I don't know what's going on there exactly. He's still in the session. Fiona says he must be on fumes shortly. I think fumes was a little while ago. I think we're now on whiffs or something like that.
He's going round again. I think he's probably trying to draw in all the fuel vapors from the air
Yeah.
from the cars in front to try and keep his engine going. Yeah.
Reburn, yeah, like they do in aircraft. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know all about that, don't you? That's what the Tornado used to do, innit? Reburn.
Yeah. He's very, very slow.
Isn't he? Someone who isn't is oh, who's that rolling round? That looked like Simon. No, we're finished.
They have finished, yeah. Where did that sneak up?
I don't know. We had about 5 minutes, about 1 minute ago. So yeah, we're done. As cars cross the line, is Bram gonna make it after all?
He's still going.
He is. Oh, that's the wrong button to press. This is the one I want. And he's got gas right to the end. Good effort. Well done, Bram. Is that his best result? I'm gonna guess it might be.
Could be, yeah.
And Ant Woodward has finished behind him. And Victor. And we're waiting now for nobody. Everybody's already passed because Johnny was so far past everybody that he's automatically finished everybody off behind him. So that's pretty impressive driving, though, from Johnny Brandon to be nearly 28 seconds ahead. I mean, we've seen that from the likes of Nicole. We've seen it from Victor Tanaka before, haven't we?
Yeah, that was all on the pit stop tactics, wasn't it? It proved that if you can fuel save, then 2 stops was the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. But you saw the effort that Johnny was making in order to achieve that.
Yes.
There was a lot of rolling coast, clutch in. It was more than a lot of drivers are capable of, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah. Is that Simon? No, that was Jamie Wilson that just drove into the pit wall, but never mind. Old man O'Connor manages to finish.
Yeah, I say I just love these races that there's so many different tactics going on. You know, even the three stoppers. You know, if you're going to two stop and fuel save, you're pretty much driving to numbers and you haven't got any wiggle room. But we see people stopping at the three stoppers. We see people stopping early. We saw people stopping late. We saw Bram turn a three stopper into a two stopper. There's so many different ways of getting to the end of the race.
Yeah, I do like these endurance races in V8s. There's so much you can do with it, and we've just seen two of the best ones. It was like the anti-Nemela. Did you know that Marco Nemela was watching the TCR the other day?
Was he
He
really?
was, yeah. He should be racing,
So
really, shouldn't
he
he?
is still alive then.
Oh, just about. Um, Shubham says, "End the pain" on the chat. Where did he end up? 15th.
15th,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not bad. That's not shabby at all, you know. Um, but, you know, when you've got Alex shouting in your ear probably that you need to be winning it, you can understand why he's saying that.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Right, so let me give you the opportunity to talk us through the results while I set up everything for the interviews, Clive.
Okie dokie. We haven't got anything.
What?
It's blankety blank, blankety blank,
Oh,
boop, boop,
sorry.
boop, blankety blank, blankety blank.
It can't do that because I've just pressed that. So let me go back again. Apologies. I'm getting ahead of myself.
We
Why is
still
it?
haven't got anything.
Well, that's very odd. It's not letting me go into post-race session.
Is it because the session it might still be
The
running?
session is still live, and I don't know why.
Perhaps it's waiting for all the lapped cars to catch up.
It's waiting for Ant Woodward, who it says is on an outlap.
Excellent.
And I don't understand why it would do that. Is that it now?
So Ant Woodward has broken SDK.
I think he has. And I don't even know how he has.
Okay. Well, go back to that. Let's just
Yeah.
do it from this. So your winner, Johnny Brandon, second. Again, no, he was third last time, wasn't he? Second was Bob Woodhouse, and Tony Kloosterman came home third. Bram Dubois with that epic fuel save in the final stint was fourth, and Woodward was fifth. Victor Tanaka came home sixth with Vincent Skilbeck in seventh. Simon Trendle finished eighth with Fabian Mayer in ninth. Jamie Wilson was 10th with Lane O'Connor in 11th. Stephen Walker was 12th with Rob Venn 13th. Ivan Batmans finished 14th with Shubham Vasaika in 15th. Stacey Boyd came home 16th and was the last car across the line. Still classified but laps behind. 17th Adam Wright, 18th Sam Boozin, 19th Jonathan Cole, 20th Greg Carr, and 21st Stephen Phillips.
Still broken.
Yeah,
Don't know why.
weird.
Yeah. Right. Let me
Okay,
sort stuff
well,
out.
yeah, let's get on with the interviews, and we haven't got a Johnny Brandon in at the moment, so I'm going to drag in second place Bob Woodhouse. Welcome to the booth.
Hello there, guys.
Hello. So, a hell of a drive on a hell of a track, but ultimately beaten on tactics.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I tried to do the fuel save in practice leading up to this, and I was way off. I couldn't do it. I was about 0.2 of a litre at my best fuel save. And yeah, so I was like, right, I'm just going to go full pace and just split it that way rather than struggling the whole time.
Yeah, and so going back to the start of the race, obviously we saw a few drivers going, extracurricular on the cold tyres. With you ending up up there. I think, did you get past when Tony and Simon came together? I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, you were sort of second place there on in. Even, with the pit stops, it was always going to shake down that, you was first and then you was second and then you was eighth and then you was first.
yeah.
And you're, I suppose it may be totally different for you, but the massive challenge you had was from teammate Ant Woodward towards the end of the race.
Yeah, yeah, and which is we're normally so close on pace, and yeah, again we were there on track. I mean, I put in too much fuel in the last fuel stop. I let the auto calculate do its thing and put in about 6 liters too much. So the 4 and a bit seconds that I had on Anthony just went, and he was
Yeah.
on my bumper, and boy, he was putting me under pressure. But yeah, we done a few official practice runs, and in both of them, I went off at the last turn. So I was adamant that wasn't going to happen to me tonight.
And you didn't go off at all at the last turn?
I had 2 incidents where I ran a little bit wide on the exit, but other than
Right.
that, it was 94 clean laps.
No, you was possibly the only driver that didn't then, because we saw lots and lots of people just managed to avoid going into pit lane, because that is one of the downsides of going off in that last turn, isn't it? That
Yeah,
you're on that slippery sand, and if you can't get the car pointed back towards the track, you're in the pit lane.
yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. But my main focus and plan for tonight was just don't go off, don't lose any, because don't try and gain time, just don't try and lose time. Stay on the track and try and be best of the rest, because we knew that the 2 stop was the strongest strategy by far, but I just couldn't achieve it.
Yeah, and again, we said it during the race that there's not a lot of people that can, to be honest. It's a special skill set, isn't it? Being able to save fuel and we went on board with Johnny Brand, and once we sort of realised that's what his plan was, and the engine was nearly dying coming into some of the corners, because he just wasn't interested in that throttle pedal at all, and was probably pressing the clutch more than the accelerator.
Yeah, I can believe it. I mean, at the start, I mean, I was giving it everything, and yeah, at first I thought he wasn't fuel saving, but then I realised he was, and I had to give it everything just to get by him. So it's like, yeah, the pace was there, but it's only there because other people were saving a lot more fuel.
Yeah, but like you say, best of the rest certainly isn't a bad place to be in. So that's 2 podiums on the trot for yourself. So you must be happy with that.
I think it's 4.
Is it
Second race at
really?
Belle Isle, both races at Barcelona, I got P3,
You
P3.
did, didn't you? Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought you was P4 in the sprint race for some reason.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, quite a surprise to be on a run like this, to be fair. But it's got to come to an end pretty soon. I can't keep it up for much longer.
Well, it's Oschersleben next, so that can be quite an interesting track. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, basically to everyone on track, I forgot to map my buttons. Everyone on the blue flags that let me by, it was, yeah, I couldn't say thank you. You guys for the broadcast, all the members of the team, we have put in quite a bit of effort for this result this week. There's, I mean, the officials were at Willow this week, so we put in a couple of hours most evenings, just trying to work on long run pace, because we knew time management was going to be quite a thing. And yeah, Simability, and yeah, everyone that's turning up, because this is a really good season. A few races in and we're still hitting really good numbers. Credit to everyone, yourselves, and yeah, long may it
Excellent.
continue. It's going well.
Yeah, excellent. Long may it continue, and keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see you on the podium next time out. Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Right, as you joined late, you get winner Johnny Brandon.
Good evening, Johnny Brandon. How you doing?
Good evening.
Feels like only last night that we spoke last.
It seems that way.
So, in terms of strategy, you absolutely pulled a blinder. You didn't go it alone. Victor was with you up until the point that he got a penalty. Do you think you would have still managed to overhaul Mr. Tanaka had he not had that penalty?
Oh, I was in front of him.
Certainly were,
I was
by
5
quite a
or
long
6
way.
seconds ahead.
Yeah.
So, and I was saving more fuel than I needed to save. I was just sticking to the same thing as I did in the first stint. So getting shorter stops, and I had a little bit of pace left, but the tyre wear is so bad around here.
Yeah.
That I tried it in practice, and if I used my full pace for the last 4 laps, the tyres were dead, and I lost like an extra second a lap.
Right.
So I just wanted to just cruise it and look after the tyres so I didn't drop off too much. And it worked. I got it right for once. Amazing.
You got it better than right. You got it absolutely perfect. I don't remember a moment where you were off track. Did you get any incident points at all?
I think I got 2. I think I just clipped the dirt on the outside of turn 1 the final corner a couple of times.
Yeah, 3, right?
3. Yeah, just on the final corner there, just clipped it a couple of times.
Right, that's still pretty epic because there's a lot of people. I mean, it's a new track to a lot of people. I don't know whether you've done any laps around here before.
Not before this.
Not before this, right? Okay, so you can only say that is a brilliant result. Anything that stood out for you in this race? I mean, further back from you, it was quite competitive. That's all. There was a lot of overtaking.
I've been looking forward to watching it because it was pretty lonely doing that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like doing it.
Yeah,
it was an interesting one because I was doing a lot of clutching. I don't know if you saw that.
We did. We went on board with you a number of times. I said to Clyde, I wish I'd had your stream on another screen so that I could understand. I could tell what you were saying. Because
I wasn't actually talking a lot because it was quite intense. It took a lot.
Oh, right, okay.
Because when you're just freewheeling like that, it's actually harder to, like, you haven't got the throttle to give you when you're on the throttle a little bit, you get a bit of grip. Even with the engine running without the clutch, you've got a bit of drive there, and you get a bit more grip. So it's really tricky when you're freewheeling, and it wasn't saving me any more fuel, but I was avoiding the engine slowing me down.
Yeah, the engine retardation.
I just wasn't getting any engine braking, so I was just carrying and rolling with that. Momentum.
Even for an open mouth breather like me, I was talking about exactly that to Clyde during the broadcast, wasn't I, Clyde?
Yes.
About it being almost as challenging, being off the gas, and you lose that concept of how fast you're travelling into the corner. And where your braking points are.
Yeah, I'm not trying to big myself up. It was definitely harder.
Yes. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah. It's great watching you drive. To be honest, the way that you approach other cars, even when you're lapping them, and how you approach fuel saving. Tonight's just been an absolute clinic, really.
People were very good tonight. Thank you to some of the back markers there because they were really good. I don't know who it was. I think there was Ivan and Shabam, is it?
Yeah, Shabam. Yep.
They were great because I come across them a couple of times, and they just one of those 2 times they were having their own little battle. It looked like, and they both just jumped straight out of the way. So thank you to those guys because that helped.
Yeah. The league promotes that, doesn't it? But you're right. There was some very, very good fair play tonight. Along the way, NQR had a very good showing, but you seem to completely ignore that and just drove your own race and did a great job with it.
I didn't ignore it. That NQR car looked like it was on fire because they were all up there in the top 6, weren't they?
Oh yeah. There was a whole bag full of them.
So I was quite nervous. I was worried about Bob Woodhouse. I was in the practice. I was like, I think it's too quick for me to do this here.
And I think
it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think in terms of fastest lap, I think, did he get that? No, he didn't, did he? It was Victor.
No, it was Victor.
Yeah, Victor got the fastest lap. But you're right, the NQR boys are put in a lot of effort, a lot of practice, and, deserved the positions that they got tonight. But equally and probably more so, you've done a fantastic job yourself. Got yourself the maximum amount of points out of this round that you could do. Simon didn't have the greatest of times tonight.
I don't know what happened there. I'll have to have a look.
There was a turn 1 hip check between him and Tony. And then I don't know that there wasn't more damage involved in all that business. But we'll find out at a later date, I'm sure. Or in the chat. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate with some simulated champagne and what do they sell in
There'll be
that
nothing
place?
simulated about it.
Sausage rolls or pasties or whatever? You're going to get anything free?
Champagne sounds good. There'll be nothing simulated about it. It'll be real champagne. I think I've got a bottle in the fridge, actually, funny enough.
Oh, awesome stuff. He
The
gets
missus has,
paid
but it's
too
just
much,
become
guys.
mine. The
Yeah.
missus has got a bottle in there that's been in there for about a month, so that's just became mine.
Classic. So go on. Anybody you want to?
Thanks to you guys. Thanks to Simability, is it, that sponsor the league? Great league. Thanks to. I'll tell you who I've got to give a shout out to is Steve Lavallee, my teammate. He's that strategy was down to him.
Oh,
and
right.
he did all the numbers for me, told me what I needed to drive to, worked it all out, and he put all the hard work in with that. And I was just doing what I was told because I'm hopeless at that sort of thing. So I just drove to the number, and he was correct. So if I'd have worked it all out, I'd have been wrong.
Well,
so
he gave
Steve
away.
a big shout out.
Yeah, he gave away your numbers in the chat, albeit at 4 minutes past 9 tonight. He said Johnny with no saving, he could do 28 lap stints, insane fuel saving to make 32. So he's already promoted that. So he's sold your capability already. It's been fantastic watching you tonight. Oschersleben is your next destination for this series. So we hope you get some decent practice in for that. I'm sure you will. And we will see you next time out.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, great victory tonight. Very, very well deserved. Johnny Brandon.
Win.
Yeah, first win.
Back in the V8.
First win back in the
Great
V8.
stuff.
Good effort. Well done.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Right, enough of bigging up yourself. Let's bring in third place, Tony Kloosterman. Welcome to the booth.
Right.
So first off, welcome back to the podium. First one this season.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
Well, Bram was on an alternate strategy to the rest of reality. Let's put it that way. But you know, Rob was saying, you know, about the effort the team put in for this race, and as team boss, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, you must be over the moon.
Yeah, it's an exceptional result for the team. First off, I want to apologize to Simon Trendle. I don't know how much of the blame I have for that incident
All of it.
with him. Yeah, well, I'm not sure I had all of it, but I had some blame, yes.
It was you and the curb. And as the curb
Yes.
is an inanimate object, we're blaming you.
That curb didn't help things, obviously, and I apologize for that. But yeah, the team, you know, we have one team member that didn't finish in the top six, and that was Chris Jackson, who put in an enormous amount of time this week in coaching us around this track. And, you know, I'm so pleased with the result. And, you know, Ant deserved a podium. Bram deserved a podium, although his strategy even left me a little confused. And Victor deserved a podium, but you know, speeding in the pits happens sometimes. I'm all too familiar with that, and you know, I just fortunate. I just lucked into third place.
Yeah, rookie error from Victor, I think we'll call that. So, you know, the race in general, you know, the track certainly isn't easy. You've got that slippery sand, you've got that horrible long last turn, nowhere to really rest on the track, and a 2-hour race in a V8. You know, I know you're happy that you got third. I know you're very happy with the team result. but it certainly wasn't an easy evening or afternoon for you.
No, it is a very difficult track, and tire wear is it's crazy. Hats off to the guys that could do 32 laps, Johnny and Victor. That's out of my category. I can't do it, and I was resigned early in the week to a 3-stop strategy, and that made it a little bit easier. But those guys did a tremendous job.
Yeah, they certainly did. So Oschersleben next. Same team effort for there? Same results?
I hope so. I haven't done too many laps there, I don't think. I can't remember if we've ever been there before.
No, I know I've commentated on it, but I can't remember what series it was. So, yeah, that might be a first for the V8s. But again, it's going to be another tricky track. But, the way your team is performing at the moment, there's got to be some top steps coming, surely.
Well, we hope so. Bob's had really good speed of late. Bram has just done unbelievably well. Ant's got speed. Victor's got speed. So, top step of the podium for one of those guys is no the question, that's for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
The team, obviously, Simability and Wild Rides. You guys for doing the broadcasts. The fellows that were running a lap down today were just awesome as far as giving room and making it easy to execute passes. So hats off to them. Really, really difficult track to maintain pace. So I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah, I second that most definitely. That was very, very good. Well, always a pleasure, Tony. Again, congratulations on your podium, and we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thank you.
Okay, next up for UP, it's 4th place, Frugal Dubois.
Good evening, Bram.
Good evening, gents.
Good evening. Wow, you've got better English than me. So, tell us about your race, because I can tell you now, and I can tell Clyde now. You've got my driver of the meeting all sewn up. This one's an easy one for me. That's the best I've seen you drive. It's certainly the most rounded performance I've seen from you, and the fact that you managed to stretch out that last stint for I don't know how many laps.
112, I think.
112 million laps. That is something to salute. So, absolute mega congratulations from me in such a fantastic performance. And you get one of these.
Yeah, thanks.
That sounded like static.
It did, didn't it? It was rubbish, wasn't it, in the end? But yeah, tell us about your race.
Well, I think first of all, I was trying to do the same tactic as the rest of the team, except Victor, to just do on 3 stops. But then I was quite saving a lot behind them, because also Johnny was holding up everyone a bit with his saving. So I was like, I might make it. And then I made I went off lap 30, the last corner, and I was like, okay, let's just go into the pits.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
That was my terrible mistake.
I was saying at the time you were doing it, I was like, well, I'd just pit now if I were Bram, wouldn't you, Clyde? And Clyde was like, yeah, and then you did, and I was like, hey, okay then. So yeah, good call.
Yeah, it was a very bad call because I had to stretch my next stints very, very long. I was like praying to not go 95 laps because I think I was saving to 2.2, 2.1 liters a lap.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even braking for the last turn. I was just coasting through it, lifting at the finish line. So my apologies to Ivan because I was at the end just holding him up. But yeah, I saw he wasn't fighting anyone, and I hoped he would block Tony a bit because I saw him coming, but I had to save or I would just not make it at all. So I had like half a liter left at the line. So I'm happy with 4th, but kind of a bit disappointed because I knew I could be higher. But yeah, still 4th. Very good.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you've got your I rating, whether that's anything to measure by, and sometimes it's not, is sat at 22.91 in the middle of 5K drivers, which says to me that you've absolutely outdone yourself tonight. Where on the planet are you based?
I was Belgium, eh? The fries
Belgium.
guy.
Oh, Clyde was right. I hate it when Clyde's right. It means I have to admit that he can be right, and that just debunks all other conversations. But great that you've managed to succeed in such a massive way. It certainly speaks volumes for your capability, and hopefully you can repeat that at Oschersleben and drive the NQR team points even further into the stratosphere, because with so many cars in the top 6 tonight, NQR have absolutely mopped up, right?
Yes, but so many thanks to the team to take me under their wings. I've learned a lot. I know, yeah, we had like great cars, so I think it showed up.
Yeah.
Sadly, no first place for anyone, but yeah, Johnny won on the strategy, so good call from him. Now we have to hear Chris all the time because he had the same ID to do, so I hope he forgets after a week.
Yeah, too right. But you're right. Johnny Brandon absolutely chose the right strategy, and he's going to benefit from it. Not a lot you guys could have done unless you'd known that in advance, which is impossible. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and practice for Oschersleben?
Well, you guys, of course, for the broadcast and organizing all this, because it was, I actually love it that it was like an endurance on this track, because it's open for quite some fuel saving. So we had some multiple strategies, and of course the team. I got so much from them. So if it was not for them, I probably would be somewhere at the back or in the middle. But no, I got a nice 4th place. So thanks to them.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will see you next time out at Oschersleben, hopefully on a podium position finish. Bram de Bois, everybody.
Yep. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so next up, let's bring in Ant threw away a podium. Woodward, welcome to the booth.
Morning.
Morning. Classic.
So, you had some real pace round here. Obviously, we've spoken to a few of your teammates, and we know there's been a massive team effort go into this race. I'm sure there's a massive team effort goes into every race, but you know, the team telling you how you should race and you actually executing that race are two totally different things. So yeah, I'm going to say congratulations, because I honestly thought you was going to get a podium. You was all over the back of Bob.
I was going for first. I was going to pass Bob and go catch Johnny.
I don't know if he would have been able to hold you off in the end, but you know, one little mistake and that was it, wasn't it? It was that battle was all over.
I'm furious. I'm absolutely raging. I just went into the last corner. I just opened up the braking, you know, to the turning. Just pulled to the left a little bit. I'd done all my braking. I'd done all my slowing down. I just pulled to the left a little bit behind Bob, and then the dirt just touched the left front, and that was it. It was all over. I made the wall. It went that far off. I made the wall.
Yeah, we watched it.
It just, yeah, killed me. I knew that's what it does, because Bob did it twice this week, and that was what I was fully expecting him to do in front of me, so I could go catch Johnny. But yeah, that was some fun. I tell you what, that track and car combination, absolutely wicked.
Yeah, it's one of the, obviously, you know, Pete and his foot fetish. You know, we did look at your feet quite a bit. we noticed obviously you haven't put any fake tan on your legs yet, and
No.
you know that's not good. So we'll have to have a word with Stacey.
I like it natural.
But
Yeah.
I was saying to Tony, it's one of them tracks, and it doesn't give you a break. There's something going on all the time. It's not like a Daytona road course or something like that, where you know you can sit back, have a drink, one hand on the wheel, and 10 minutes later you've got a break. There's a turn, there's an uphill, there's a downhill, there's a turn, there's a car in front of you, there's a car behind you. It's just kicking off all the time, and you've got to stay concentrated for 2 hours or 1 hour 55 in your case.
Yeah, that was the big challenge, just trying. And I mean, we're talking thousands of laps when you talk about preparation here anyway. I probably did dip into thousands of laps, like doing AI races. I was doing full stints, full runs, everything. So I did a ton of practice. Wasn't making any mistakes. I was happy with it, and I wouldn't even say it wasn't even a mistake. I just literally I went to open the corner up, and the thing come at me and touched the front left, which was currently dead. It spends its whole life dead around here, the front left. So yeah, I'm furious.
Yeah, and obviously we know Tony's got more chance of growing a full head of hair than he has fuel saving. Bob said there was absolutely
me on both
no
counts.
way. Yeah, it's literally what I was getting to. Bob said he couldn't. Bram managed somehow to turn a 3-stopper into a 2-stopper. What was the 2-stopper ever an option for you?
No, God no. No, I drive every lap as if it's my last ever on earth. I drive flat out everywhere. There's no way I can do that. I mean, full props to Johnny for doing it. It takes so much discipline to drive like that. That's partly why. The V8's so much fun. I couldn't imagine doing a whole 2 hours like that. It's ridiculous to me. But, I mean, very incredibly impressive. Chris has been banging on about it all week. This is what I'd do. I'd win the race by 20 seconds. It's like, yeah, well, irrelevant if you're not allowed, but fair play. He's done the work, because I said, can you though? I made him prove it, and sure enough he proved it, so you can't say more than that. And then Johnny's double proved it today, so yeah, it's a shame Chris wasn't here, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And just a note for Pete, we'll put a little edit in there. We'll just change that a little bit so that Ant says, I drive every lap like I'm about to quit the series.
Oh, I'm quitting. I didn't mention that yet. I'm
cool.
not mad at my mistake. I'm quitting again now.
So next time out, Oschersleben. Is that going to be the same team effort, or was Willow Springs something special for the team?
One thing that's really awesome right now is the team is, we're all pushing each other. We're getting in the officials, and we're literally, I think I might have the world record still at the moment for the fastest lap round here in a race session, official race session. And that's a bit like, I take any victory I can, don't I? And that's because there haven't been many official sessions yet. The Aussies haven't woke up is basically what's happened. Yeah. But, it won't stay there. But and I think Bram would have it. But the race we did the other night was 4 of us. It didn't go official. So people were messing about in Clios instead, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that competitiveness that we all have. And it's obviously, I've probably shared that screenshot of that world record about 4 times in team chat, and everyone's mad at that, so they go and try and go faster, and I think that's a large part of what's pushing the team at the moment, so that's fantastic.
Well, you could always petition iRacing and tell them you've found a major bug with the track and they need to take it down for a little while.
Long may it remain.
Yeah, or get back out racing and beat it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think you was not unlucky, because it was a mistake. It wasn't something else. But I think you certainly had the speed to get yourself a podium, in this race, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I got a few. Obviously, the usual suspects: Stacey, Jack, Evie, Simability. All the drivers tonight. People have said it before, but very good when we were coming through. Chris for all the work he put in to prove that his strategy would work, and he's awesome, and blah blah blah. NQR, all the guys, especially Bob, great result, and really well done to Bram. Like, it's time to kick him out the team again now, because he's getting too good too quick. I think he had to change it up tonight, and it's impressive when you can do that on the fly and change your strategy and make it work.
Yeah, it certainly is. Totally agree with everything you just said there. So congratulations on some awesome racing tonight, and go and get yourself a nice cold beer and a rest, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, boys. See you next time.
Okay, so next up for you, Pete, we have 6th place, Victor Tanaka.
Good evening, Victor. How are you doing?
Good evening. You can call me Vincent. I don't mind.
Yeah, well,
the driver, I think he was right behind me.
He was, but it's the BSTV way to get everybody's names wrong. We saw the only challenge for Johnny Brandon really taking effect in your driver's seat until one critical incident. But until that point, you had the measure of Johnny Brandon, in my opinion. Yes, you were about 6 seconds to 3 seconds back at different points in the race, but you were showing that your innate pace around this track in this car, the Commodore, was a match for Johnny Brandon until you entered pit road.
For the second time, yes.
For the
first
second
time,
yeah.
The first time I almost did too, but I'm stubborn.
Yeah. Were you way over, or were you borderline?
I was borderline the first time. The second time, I don't think so. It sneaks up in you. That's just a bad pit entry. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. You just can't exit the corner the same way. And it feels like you can just wait to brake later, but you have to lift like halfway through the corner, I think, to make it. But yeah, that's it just exposes my like lack of practice. I guess, yeah.
If you've had a lack of practice and you were performing like that, then I have to hate you, because that's just too good. And we've seen Victor Tanaka previously, and he is a force to be reckoned with in this car. You are brilliant. It's just a shame that people have pit lane rules and speed limits and things like that.
Well, thank you. Like, one thing I was gonna say, it wasn't really me driving; it was Chris.
No, it wasn't, because Chris doesn't drive either. It's Mary.
But yeah, that's true. But no, but basically, like just before the race, like Chris went in a session with me for about an hour, and that was all the practice that I had. But yeah, it was all him, like guiding me through. I was literally 5 seconds off the pace in the first lap. I had no clue. I think I did a few laps here when the track first came out in week 13 on the new Porsche GT3 car. That was pretty much it. So basically he was guiding me through it. He told me all about the fuel saving strategy and how nobody in the team, like listened to him, and they told him to, F off.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know what, Chris, I think you're onto something, because like on this track, you lift the throttle and the delta keeps getting greener. It just makes. I think physics doesn't work here. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it was just like, you know what? I think you're onto something. I'm gonna give it a try. I don't know if you guys caught it, but yeah, like lap 3, you guys should take a look at 10-1 on lap 3. But other than that, it was a pretty good race.
Right.
Like I made my own mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people
3,
did.
You want to take a look at that, yeah. But but other than that, it was a 2-hour race. So like that particular incident, I didn't make or break my race. Like I made my own mistakes. But yeah, including the 40-second penalty, and then the other 10 seconds that I lost going wide. Just because I was hot-headed. I had just like
we did see that. And Clyde called it that it might be angry driving, and I think I agreed with him at the time, because it's easily done, isn't it? You want to make as much time back as you can. You're never going to make 40 seconds, but it feels like you should be able to.
Yeah, like at the time, I just didn't know where I was gonna end up, and I actually ended up being 10 seconds from, like P4, So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I would have been at least, like in the mix to maybe try to get back into the podium. But
without a doubt, you would have been
yeah.
second place. It just
No.
depends.
I mean, like without the running wide, like
I see
off
what you
of-
mean. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like even with the penalties, like I should still be, like P4 ish.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the NCAR boys. At the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. Like from P2 to P6, it was all us. So if it was me at the top or Bob, it really doesn't make a difference. But yeah, I wasn't going for P2. I was going for the win. But yeah, it is what it is. It was a good race overall. And yeah, if you take away 50 seconds off my time, it's only 6 seconds off of Johnny.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and who knows what could have come if you'd been in different traffic or no traffic after that. There's all sorts you could argue in that instance. As it happened, unfortunately, it did happen. And have you got anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to before we let you go and think again and do Oschersleben for a few laps or whatever you're going to do next?
Yeah, no. I like jumping in just 10 minutes before the race. That's me.
Have to hate you. Sorry.
But no, like I said, it was all Chris. He spent the whole hour with me. He didn't have to, but it's a little bit of like what goes around comes around. A few years ago when Chris was just starting in iRacing, like me and Tony were pretty much his coaches. Like I remember he couldn't lap a second off of my time.
No, we
I have to struggle to keep up.
Yeah, we called him Crash Jackson for quite a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciated that. He took the time and effort to to coach me to like through this track. Like I know this track like quite a bit just from like Randy Popes and all of the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
With cars, but yeah, the whole NQR team, it's amazing that we pretty much like locked out the top 6, if you don't count Brendan, because I don't think he should count. But like other than that, yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. I think to Tony, the whole team, we're all we work pretty good together. We help each other. You know what I mean? And we like we don't battle each other too hard in the race. But and thanks to you guys for the broadcast. As always, awesome job.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will let you go and celebrate, let's say, your 6th place. And it's always fantastic watching you race because you are absolutely dynamic. Victor Tanaka, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
So, I only just realised that we don't have a Clyde in the booth anymore. His internet has dropped out. I'm busy sat there in silence. So, instead, I shall welcome into the booth Vincent Skilbeck. Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening or morning for you. What time have you got over there?
Just past 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, we love you because you get up at stupid o'clock in the morning to come and race with us. And do you know what? You were in the thick of loads of driving tonight, loads of racing, very close racing. You were making your way through the field. You had a bit of an incident right at the very start, yeah?
Yeah, I just made a little mistake going into turn 2. Just went a little bit hot, and decided to tour the dirt out there. There's no grass out there, so I couldn't mow the grass, but I scooped up some dirt, I think. So yeah. Yeah,
and endurance races in the V8, they're a bit of a challenge at the best of times. You took the 3-stop strategy over the 2-stop. The 2-stop, I think, was deemed by a lot of people to be such a stretch they weren't going to entertain it, and in the end only 2 tried it and only 1 managed it properly anyway. Did you have the 2-stop in your toolbox at all, or was that just not your driving style?
I probably could have done the 2-stop. but I just decided to do kind of whatever Tony did, because usually in the Enduros, when Tony's strategy is on point, he's usually near the front. So I decided, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, every time I pitted, I still had about 9 laps of fuel left in the car. So
Wow, right, okay.
I could have stretched it a bit. I think I was running between 2.5 and 2.6 liters a lap, every lap. When I came out of the pits, I pushed hard for a couple of laps and then went straight back to fuel saving. But at the start of the race, I fuel saved straight from the get-go, just to see if I could stretch it a bit. But then, yeah, I decided to change the strategy a little bit, which I think sort of worked because the tyre wear on the left front was pretty bad.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, and a lot of people in chat saying this is a tyre chewer of a track, and the front left is the one that gets it. But you've got to say 7th is a pretty good result, given the people that you're racing with. Have you raced this previously? Is it featured on Scops or anything like that?
No. The only time I've actually really run this track was just in practice, or yeah, just practicing for this.
Right.
Scops, I don't think we go here. No, Scops, we don't go here. So, yeah, it's completely new.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, it's even a bigger victory because you've not faced it in your own world. So 7th, is it? Yeah. 7th is a damn good result, and a good haul of points as well for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Oschersleben is the next destination for this league. Have you raced around there recently or at all?
I think we may have raced there once before. I think maybe last season we raced here. Off the top of my head, I think we've raced there. I cannot remember. But either way, Scops will be there same time, so I will be doing laps and hope I am on pace. But yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, and I have to say that your car behaviour lately has been very, very controlled and very, very calm, and therefore I think you've got a lot of pace in there, a lot of potential. That's just from someone in a broadcasting booth watching lots and lots of cars racing, so you can sometimes tell how someone else is racing just by the different behaviours of the cars. It stands in good stead for you to extract more out of that car, I think. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and either A, get some sleep, B, get some breakfast, or C, start practicing for Oschersleben?
Yeah, it's interesting you noticed about my driving. I've made it a point this season to just keep my head calm, and just go back to my normal smooth as fast driving. I have at times already this season put my Scops mentality on, just to maybe harass some people, I should say. But yeah, the smooth driving seems to be working out for me. So yeah, it's good. I'd also like to thank everyone over at Wheelie Bins, you guys for the broadcast, Simability for sponsoring the season again, and everyone in the league for the awesome racing again tonight.
No, that's well said, actually. And yeah, we do notice these things. I may be a knucklehead, and I'm just thinking of all the words that Bill Switzer uses when he refers to unintellectual. But we do notice these subtle differences in driving styles, even in the midst of a 21 car field, and all the different driving styles you see in there. I do pick these things out, and you've very much taken that smoother approach to this season particularly, and I think it will play out for you. So well done on selecting that, and well done on your 7th place, and we will see you hopefully for a podium finish at Oschersleben, especially if you're doing some Scops practice. Vincent Skilbeck, everybody.
Yeah, catch you guys next round.
Right, that leaves me to round everything up. No surprises for who my vote of the driver of the meeting was, because I've already told you. It was Bram de Bois. He's slotted himself in way higher than his capability in terms of iRacing says, and his history says as well. So, congratulations to Bram. I think he's done a fantastic job of setting himself higher than I've seen him perform before. A 2-hour race, changing his strategy mid-race, finishing it on a long stint. I mean, that is a massive stint that he's done at the end of that race there. It is brilliant, you know, over 30 laps in his last stint, and he's done really well for both himself and his team. So, congratulations to Bram. Where are we next? So on Wednesday of this week, we are at TCR's at Virginia Raceway. The end of the Clio Cup is this coming Friday, and if I pretended to know where that would be, I would be absolutely lying, despite having talked about it just yesterday with Clyde. So I'm just about to find out for you all. So that's Brands Hatch Indy, the little track. That should be a great race. We had a 6-car race at a Knock Hill reverse, and it was brilliant, proving that you don't need massive fields to have great races, as long as the racing is good and clean, which it invariably is for BSTV races. So, no Clyde to offer his vote. He'll do that after the event. What I will say is, thanks to everybody that has turned up to watch tonight. Thanks to everybody that's turned up to race tonight. 21 races around a brand new track in the middle of a holiday season in the Northern Hemisphere is brilliant. We often see leagues dip down into single figures, but not on this occasion. So thank you to everybody that's turned up and watched. Thanks to Clyde for the limited time he was available to contribute to tonight's broadcast. Clearly there's a thunderstorm or something going on down there in Norfolk, and we will see you all next time out for this league at Oschersleben. Do I know when that is? No, of course not, because it's me. Why would I know about anything such as that? Let me just inform you of when that is. It will be on August 26th, Oschersleben. It's a sprint feature round, as you would expect, and I look very much forward to hosting for you then. Good night, everybody. Stay safe, and don't forget to check out Simability, who are our principal sponsors. They make sim rigs for those less fortunate than some of the rest of us, and make racing and sim racing accessible. So thanks to everybody, and good night.